ndibhexeshe egameni lakhe ndinguye phofu andibalekile kuyinweba ke silapha sizawuqalisa esihika-hika somsitho kuzabaxhosi kube hele ndifuna futhi ngokwasasondelayo umem Lasini ndifuna ngokwasondelayo umem Lasini ndibe ndisithi kumnandi ukuba lapha.
It's nice to be here.
It's nice to be here. Thank you very much. We are sondela umem Lasini ukuba asisondeze kumagunyanga sentla. We are sondela umem Lasini.
Kuye wonke umuntu lapha endlini before I pray kukho amazwi endiwafumene phaa kwincwadi kaSamuel wokuqala ichapter ngo-9 ivesi ngo-16 ithi xa ifundeka kamandi ngeli xesha ngomso ndiyakuthumela kuwe indoda yasezweni lakwaBenjamini ukuze uyithambise ibe inganga yabantu bam amaSirayeli ibasindise abantu bam esandleni samaFilista ngokuba ndibabonile abantu bam kuba ukukhala kwabo kufikile kum. Amen. This scripture in yona ndibalulekileyo ithethayo apha kuthanjiswa uSawule as ba today we are inaugurating our principal yaba ngamazwi athethwa nguThixo kukho amazwi that are in the first chapters or first verses athi go arise and go and take one servant in order to go and fetch the sheep that are lost. Amen. I believe that there is a purpose for everyone. If we are coming to the workplace or we are sent to the workplace, there is a purpose for that to come. Uthixo unenjongo ngomuntu wonke okhoyo ngaphakathi, especially for Fort Cox community, meaning that the student, the management and the staff, uthixo unenjongo ngobukho bethu kule ndawo, and enenjongo njengobukho bethu kule ndawo unenjongo zobukho buka principal kule ndawo. Uba niyaliva kakuhle ilizwe lithi I hear the cries of my people, because bekukaninzi bekukudala silangazelela uba no principal yapha esikolweni, kodwa namhlanje God because uthi izwi lakhe lihleli liwenza umsebenzi, meaning that alithethwa izwi likaThixo lingabi nantsingiselo okanye lingabi namiphumela. We thank God for today ukuthi namhlanje as a Fort Cox community nabantu abasisurroundileyo sithi namhlanje we are having a principle, we are starting a new chapter to say we have the leader, because they Amasirayeli, they were looking to get the leader for themselves. Thank you. Let us pray. Bawo ingcwele bawona mandla Thixo omhle kangakanana nasemini maqanda Jehova sibona wena, sibona ukulunga kwakho simakade, sibona inceba evela kuwe wedwa moya ongcwele. You are the God who does the great things and the wonderful things. Nakaloku nje moya ongcwele, have your way moya ongcwele kule ndawo yase Fort Cox Jehova, zingqine njengoThixo nakumntana kaMankazana moya ongcwele umisile Thixo namandla phambi kwethu Jehova, Thixo namandla ukuthi asikhokhele, Thixo namandla siyathandaza imihla yonke ngesimakade athi hecken your word Jehova kuyo le ndawo ase Fort Cox moya ongcwele ukuze intando yakho yenziwe Jehova. Siza kuwe Thixo namandla, sithembe sakho isandla mighty God kuzo zonke izinto Thixo namandla mighty God moya ongcwele. Thixo wethu, we come before your throne of grace Jehova, Thixo namandla dala into entsha Thixo namandla kuyo le ndawo simakade Thixo namandla. Bless each and every one of us Thixo namandla sesikhona Thixo namandla to understand mighty God the purpose for us Thixo namandla in this institution Jehova. Thixo wethu siza kuwe, sithemba Nkosi isandla sakho naba bantwana besikolo Jehova, nabo Nkosi moya ongcwele, renew their purpose Jehova, renew their existence kule ndawo ukuze Thixo namandla yonke into Nkosi yenzeke ngolungelelwano moya ongcwele. Siza kuwe Thixo namandla, sithembe wena Thixo wethu, yehlisa Thixo namandla umoya wakho mighty God ukuze Nkosi usifukame Jehova, usi-embrace moya ongcwele all the days sikuyo le ndawo with the purpose mighty God ne vision Thixo namandla ye Fort Cox moya ongcwele. Siza kuwe ke Nkosi sithembe wena in the mighty name of Jesus. As we start this event mighty God, you are the God Thixo namandla. Bless it and everyone moya ongcwele, msikelele Moses moya ongcwele, mthamsanqelise mighty God umntana wakho Nkosi usambekile phambi kwethu in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Ngoku ngo-2000 kwakuthiwa uzawufika umgwebo, ndathi saziba oomem plasini bazawusincedisa abanye abantu, basicele kuqola hayi besalungisa besiza yena. Thank you so much for the wonderful opening service, ma'am, opening prayer. Thank you so much. Allocate myself a core program director, and that core program director is none other than Sis Mandisa, Ambassador Mandisa Mahasha. She's going to be the core program director. Bango 2 weeks after we core director, is in a powers they don't need anywhere. With the powers vested in me, with the powers vested in me, ndizawucela nam xa ndithanda ndivenza nabe nje kakhulu usisimanti naku ambassador ulimele ilizwe la South Africa in many countries. I really mean it, no joke. He served as ambassador, and it's a title that kwawuze kuhle sozihle yakho ikhofu msisimanti. Bibi iyawuzihle nala title. Bona Pagate Amsa, just hands together for us this morning. She's going to be our core program director for the day. I guess we're not going to be here for more than 1.5 to 2 hours. We have the program, ladies and gentlemen, in front of us. We are going to do exactly that, to stick to it and just modify it progressively here and there. Sihlangene ngemini emandi, ngemini yemibhiyozo, ngemini yolonwabo, ngemini yochulumano. It is a warm day, it is a special day, it is a great day, it is an honorable day.
Enkosini Mphathi Nqoko, ndiyazibulisela namngani Maqanda apha eholweni basenza 10 ndiyabulisa i-chairperson of the council Fort Cox, nabaphathi bamasebe abakhoyo, principal ye-college, kunye nezimenywa eziphambili. Sibulisa i-management yase-Fort Cox, staff, nabafundi nayo wonke umuntu okhoyo apha eholweni. Ndizokuncedisana no-program director, umphathi Nqoko Limpondo. Amagama amaninzi apha ngawesiXhosa, so uyabhidwa ngawo. Apha eholweni, we have an honor, sine presence ka-Honorable Mayor wasemahlathi, uCouncillor Nongqayi, Mankazana. We have the Honorable Speaker of the Council, Councillor Nokuzola Lahleki, Chief Whip, Nkosazana Uphatheka, and Acting Municipal Manager, Nkosazana Nozuko Ngqulo. It's truly great that Amahlathi is embracing women empowerment. We have a great honor to have in our hall to this day Vice Chancellor of the University of Fort Hare, Professor Buhlungu. The council members of Fort Cox Council, led by Dr. Phumezolo. Honorable Ambassador Mahasha, Deputy Chairperson of the Council, Honorable PJ Mkhululi, Member of the Council and the Chairperson of the HR Committee, Mr. Norman Dlamini is the Member of the Council from the Forestry, South Africa. Also the member of the Finance and Investment Committee. We have got Umama, Chief Ugayika, Mamulo Siseko Ngika, is the member of the council and the member of the academic board. We've got Professor Lisa Bowakomoreng, is the representing the institution of higher learning, is the member of the council and the chairperson of the academic board. We have got here the alumni of Fort Cox, which is one of our key stakeholders, Mr. Vusim Pogeli, Mr. Golwa, Mr. Magazikoto, Mr. Maxwell Tidiman, Mr. Saungo Matanzema, Ms. Nolita Nyigana, Mr. Zola Maiba. I was almost worried that if Fort Cox has been teaching all these years male students, at least we do have got one Miss Nolita Nyika, a soldier on female students. The alumni desk is full of male. Could be two things, that Fort Cox was teaching male students or female students thought that accounting is better than agriculture. A program director for the guests that have met the registration time. This is also we do have got mother departments that we have in our midst. National department is here. It's represented by Ms. Mkhululi. Am I right? The community in the form of the structure that is coordinating community development is called the cluster, is represented by its chairperson, Mr. Opo. Dr. Da is also represented, which is the provincial department. Dr. Makubela is here. I think the program director will from time to time update the list of the guests. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, CFO. Thank you so much. I'm just going to be calling upon our Chairperson of Council, Dr. Antangapara. Oh, in the floor, ukuyo yebikana nesibuli ka usondela lapho zoyithethe le floor. Sizawucela ukuba uDr. Nyange Antangapara uzayibona uzayi-appreciate. uDr. Luphwana azokusamkelela wonke umuntu olapha kule holo CFO unyanisile not kule tent. But Mr. Chaga nala kwayari yabo bebenza into bebenza before kuvulwe. Bengicela bake bagqithe manje bake bazothi che.
Qala mandibulise kuwe Mqeqeshi Nkqubo kutsho inkomo umphankomo engwane kamajola ndifuna baphamba ndibulise izithwalandwe amabhuje izinanamesha izindlu zivuliwe imbunguzulu ucombo lweAfrika ndizichaze into kokuba mna andililo iciko ayiyonto siyiphiweyo phaya ekhaya emahlwaneni ozivula lo kuphela oluphiwe nina wam lo uyi-vice chancellor yaseFort Cox uyaxokozaza umfana siyifemeli ke engafunanga kakhulu kodwa ke ndifuna nibaninganeli lukhulu kodwa ke maniqhube ngombuliso wam ndiqale ngomama wethu uCouncillor uNongqa uMeya onguye okhethwe luluntu lwalapha ukuba abe ngumama wethu nesigaba sakhe oomama aba eyona nto ndiyivuyelayo bayayazi aba kwibhunga eli lilawulayo apha into yokuba yeyona nto ndiyijongayo into yokuba oomama bangaphi na kule nto iphetheyo apha ndiyayivuyela le nto ndawugqiba ke ndibulise izithwalandwe ngokwenene ngokulandana kwazo ukuba ke ndifuna ukuba apha koogxa abakwibhunga elilawulayo ndizawubulisa mgqibeli kwelinye endifuna ukulibulisa lilodwa umama uNgqika ndibulise indwendwe zembeko ezilapha ndawugqiba ndibulise umlisela nomthinjana wezizwe lakokwethu ndithi nina nizityatyambo zekamva sijonge kuni zinkokheli zangomso ndiyavuya ukunibona bantwana bam ningabona abantu babalulekileyo apha kuba you are the future ndithetha loo nto nentliziyo yam yonke ndabe ndenzile ndibuye ndithi into ebangela into yokuba ndizawugqibezela umama uNgqika kuba umele ikomkhulu apha ndifuna into yokokuba ndingumntu oyithandayo imbali yethu thina maXhosa uba sisuka apha kuba ke ndingumrharhabe mna ndikhulele apha ndizalelwe apha ndikhulele apha kwarharhabe apha eQonce okanye ke ndeza ndisisebelile akho ndawo yimbi ndiyaziyo ngaphandle kwalapha apha ke kwarharhabe kumkani urharhabe indlu yasekunanakaphaa kuba ukuwela kwakhe inciba ngaloo minyaka yoo-1700 uqala kwayo esohlulwa nomntakwabo uGcaleka ukuze kungabikho imfazwe zombangazwe wathi ukumkani uPhalo ingathi ngokuwela umlambo umzingeli obalulekileyo nekroti lendoda wathatha abantu bakhe wawela inciba waxewela inciba walwa kunye nezizwe zamalawu aba kuthiwa ngamakhoyi ke not amalawu oluhlobo ke abizwa ngawo amalawu amakhoyi Khoi and the San people wafika wazawuseka lo mzi kaRharhabe phantsi kwalanda phezu kwalanda bo inesiphomo kuthiwa intaba kandoda wasiseka phaa isizwe samaRharhabe ufika kwakhe nomkhosi kabusiya emfazweni ubudibanela phaa afike amagqirha anyange umkhosi phamba kwabe ubheke emfazweni bethi ke ngoku naxa awufika ekubeni iwile ikhothamile inkosi yamalawu emva kwedabi ilawu elaliwe ukuwela kwakhe inxiba ngasemgwali wafika wakhupha iinkomo ezingamawaka amawaka angamashumi asibhozo, 80,000 head of cattle. Wanika unkosikazi wale nkosi yamaLawu, wathenga wonke lo mhlaba namhlanje siyazi uba umhlaba wamaRharhabe. Esithi andizange azobulala abantu, ndifuna nje ndicela njena indawo hlala wawuthenga umhlaba emveni ba eliwinile idabi elo ukwela kwakhe apho. Bathi ke xa bembonga bathi nguNtsinga kaNomagwayi waseMbo, ubutsolo bentonga, uzamazama ilizwe, usibalamdaka, siyakhona mhla singayikhona, singayi kanti umhla siyayo, sambatha zimfutshane kanti zomlingana. Kube ezinkulu esithi zimfihla amadolo, sihlungulusa phansi isikwayi, kanti liyazingca kwezinye intaka ham ngasikhetsheketshe into yasekunene kaPhalo. Ukumkani uRharhabe lo mama egameni lekomkhulu ndifuna uba ndithi siyayibulela kuba lo mhlaba sawuphiwa sesisikolo ukusekwa kwaso yikumkani uMgolombane oko inkulu kalwaganda kaMlawu uNgqika. Namhlanje apha kuthiwa mandizothetha into kokuba isizeka bani sokokuba sibize abantu uluntu ukuba mabeze bazokuhlala namhlanje lusuku endicinga ukuba lawuhlala uhleli ezingqondweni zethu. Usuku lokuqala siyaqala ukuyenza eliziko lemfundo ephakamileyo kwezolimo namahlathi lwaseFort Cox lizawugqiba ikhulu leminyaka ngo-2030, njeke njena iminyaka esibhozo. Kodwa ke siyaqala namhlanje ukuba abayeza bakhona iprincipal, kodwa namhlanje siyaqala ukwenza umsitho ololuhlobo okwamkela iprincipal lento kuthiwa ke yi-inauguration, idla ngokwenziwa kwii-universities. Kodwa sathi thina masiyiqale loo nto, isithethe ke eso, ayilosiko, isithethe into eqalwa bumini ihambe ke ngokuna iqhutywe kuba siyathemba uba nezinye iinqununu ezawuthi zilandele emva kwalena zawuthi zamkelwe ngolu hlobo kubizwe abantu. Kuba into ebangela uba senze ngolo hlobo uNongqayi into yokokuba sifumanise into yokokuba le mihlaba njengoba sayinikwa njena ufumanise into yoba ayinabi iye eluntwini le nto ifundwa apha. Abantu njengoba sihleli sifunda apha izifundo eziphakamileyo kwezolimo nezamahlathi, kodwa uluntu olurhangqe apha ezilali zindwadunge babethwa yindlala ikatile leziko, kodwa barhangqwe zizikolo ekuthiwa zifundisa ezolimo. Kodwa abalimi xa uyile kula masiko yinto ke leyo esiyaziyo into yokokuba isikolo semfundo ephakamileyo singunxantathu okwembiza yesiXhosa, yi-teaching and learning, yi-research, apha ke kuba yi-vocational school, ibe yi-applied research, ize eyesithathu iyalingana nini yile nto kuthiwa yi-community outreach engagement. Outing ke uthi uthatha olu lwazi sihambe siluse eluntwini. Namhlanje ke ngoku na into ebangela uba sibe sisamkela le principal sanibiza ukuba nizoba ngamangqina into yokokuba sizawufakela laa mlenze wesithathu apha namhlanje. Sisinqumo eso esisithathileyo, andizuthetha kuba ke uza kuyithetha ngokwakhe kuba xa sasinikwe igunya lokokuba siphume sibe yipanel eyayihamba ifuna uba ubani onoba nguprinsipal inqununu yesi sikolo onuthi enze le nto ifunwa ngabantu kuba sikhalazelwa ngabahlali ukuba lena iFort Cox ayoyethu lena sagqibela ngoko yayiyethu apha xa kuthiwa kuqeshwa abantu kuqeshwa abantu bangapha eRhawutini kodwa bazocheba ingca abantu bangapha eBhayi kude bazophatha umhlakulo babethe ingadi. Hayi asifumane bisi asifumane intoni. Uyabona ecaca into yokuba dala yekade senwenza kodwa ke lo suku lamama Mlawa saqonda into yoba xa inkokheli ingekho ezawuthi yenze loo nto masambe siyifune. Ngaloo mazwi ke olu suku lwanamhlanje ndiyakhange ndichithe xesha lelokuba size kuloo nto ukwamkela inqununu. Ndiphinde ke ndinikezele kuwe ke ngexesha inkqubo kuba ndiyacinga into yokokuba ndiwugqibile owam umsebenzi. Jona inkomo.
Basibulele kakhulu uDr. Mkhululi. Simkhwabele. Ekugqibeleni sesisazi uba sizokwenza ntoni apha. Sibulele kakhulu nokwazi uba ngobani abantu abakhoyo phakathi kwethu. Sebebulisiwe ke nanguNothabo ngokubeme apha bonke abantu bebelapha. uPJ naye ukhe wazinika apha wamane babiza ngamagama. uDr. Mkhululi waphinda naye wababiza. Andizuba sayingena ke mna ngoku kule indawo. Ndizawuthatha ngokuthi ke nonke nibulisiwe ndim. Ndinibulisa ngegama elihle lenkosi yam uYesu Kristu. Amen. Amen. Benifuna ndide nditsho nalo. Ndikhumbula nje ibalana elincinci lomuntu owayefuna ukutolikelwa. Uthi xa engena kulo mhlangano kusithi uzawuthetha athi ndifuna ukuthetha ngesingesi. Ndizawucela wena ke Mkhwemte uze unditolikele. Athi ladies ngeshowe enkulu athi luphendula manenelani manenekazi. Athi and gentlemen athi nani bantwana. So andisafuna ubasaqala ke nditsho kuba kwafuneka ndikhombe nabantwana ndingafanelanga. Bethuna sizangena ke kolandelayo singene ngokwi messages of support. Uchilo apha usihlalo uba abantu ebebizwe apha kubizweleka into yoba kuzo introducewa uprincipal wethu omtsha ukwenzela into yoba abantu abasebenza nabo abantu who have a partnership nesi sikolo sethu bakwazi ukumbona uba ngubani ngoku osezintanjeni bazokwazi ucreate a better relationship naye. Sizawucela ukuqala uyazi akho nto imnandi kuthi njengokuba sibe nomama uNgqika. Akukho nto imnandi njengokuba sibe nomama uNgqika kwi-council kuba sithetha nomama owondeleyo ekuhlaleni, umama owazi konke ngokuhlala. So uyakwazi ukusicebisa sithi xa singena apha kule council yase Fort Cox asixelele uba wethu abantu balapha they are organized banayo ne-cluster. So this is why we invited the representatives from the cluster ukwenzela uba zizobona uba zizawusebenza nabani. And you don't always have i-cluster kuzo zonke indawo. It's only the progressive communities apho you will have people organized bene-clusters because bafuna ukuthetha kanye bathethe ngazwinye. And I think Mayor wethu unoba nayo uyayivile into yokubona uba kukhona ii-villages nee-communities eziso organized ezikwazi ukuba establish i-cluster. Sacela ke i-representative from the cluster izokwazi ukwenza amazwi enkxaso ku-principal wethu. Xa esaphakama sibe simqhwabela izandla.
Mandibulise ngale njikalanga. Ndibulise abantu ebesebechazwe bonke apha ukushiyana kweendawo zabo. Okwam nje ukuba ndithi gqabagqaba ngala mazwi selechazile ngokubhekiselele kunqununu ethe yachongwa esikolweni. Mhlekazi omhle kuthiwa nguwe nqununu, ubuso abutshanga noba ke akungazi ke wena. Kulusizi uqala kule ndawo lokokubana uchairperson ukhe wavela kancinci kantlanye nabomi yoyika. Andoyiki ke mntu no-chairperson. Eliziko liziko lemfundo bekusawuthiwa ngaphambili sisikolo solimo saseNgqolokheni ngelaa xesha sasikulo lekabawusele. Zatshintshwa ke izinto. Ukutshintshwa kwezinto ke kwatshintsha ke nesikolo qo. Yangiqhuba ukobhode mhlekazi wam. Apho konakala khona kuqala kukokubana kuthi aba bantu bangqonge esi sikolo bangaziwa ubana ngabantu. Kwabona izakhiwo ezi bahlala kuzo. Abantu abafundileyo ke baneendlela zokuthetha. Kukho into yokubha sisimo sentlalo apha esiXhoseni. Ndiyabona ke bakwabona isimo esi sentlalo kwabonakala into yokubana kuledwe kucinyelwe. Loo nto ke yabangela ubana sibe likheswa singabantu bokuhlala. Kanti nenze yona mpazamo nkulu. Abahlali bawuphawula into yokubana ke benziwe ikheswa sisikolo ndilibalekile. Babona indlela yobana mabenze njani bangena esikolweni. Walawula umntu olawulayo wayinikwa ingxowa yokubana makalawule azokuveza uphuhliso isikolo siphuhle. Asirhutya amaXhosa kwethu ngasemva ngena emthonyameni. Sakule meko besikuyo andisukuthunja kuloo ndawo. Ndibulele uchairperson xa athi iyazibulwa le nto yenzekayo namhlanje yokokubana kubekho abantu bokuhlala abakwaziyo ukuzawuchopha afake imilomo nabaphathi besikolo. Bekunga ke ingangapheli apho loo nto. Kuthi njengoba kufike wena nje iqhube ingaqhubi nje kambe ibe nemiphumela. Ndithunyiwe ke kulo mhlaba kaDalpolo. Dalpolo. Okokubana ndenze nje amagqaba ntshintshi. Andisutya xesha lakho mhlekazi, ndiyicela loo ndawo. Abe mabini abe mathathu. Kuphawulekile ke okokubana zinintsi izinto ezingenzeki ngendlela. Ndizawucela uxolo kananjalo into yokokubana ke le ntethwana yam yenziwe ngeyalo hlobo ilulo ixubile. Government has since dawn of a democracy been inventing and spending sums of money in the space we live in, but up to date, the outcomes and impacts listed in many of their planning documents or acts, policies are yet to materialize. What we would like to see from the college are outcomes-driven initiatives and interventions thereof, where we would not only be told of what investment has been made, but outcomes of such. Under the current democratic dispensation in Fort Cox, it has opportunity to undo some of the instances that participated in the past, restoring dignity and guarantee economic spin-offs in agricultural activities they partake in, among others, the provision of mechanization services. As indicated above, the cost associated with working the land is one of the main reasons why hundreds of hectares are lying fallow in almost all the surrounding villages, offering mechanization services at reasonable prices to the rural community could trigger interest in people using their land again. In the past, the college provided necessary on-farm infrastructure such as fencing, water system, deep tanks, animal handling facilities that were made available and beneficial to the community at large. The fenced grazing areas ensured controlled grazing and therefore promoted available and use, whilst the deep tank handling facilities and veterinary clinics ensured that villages, livestock get decent primary health care. Renewing access to these facilities can improve the community's production processes. Andifuna ukwenza amade mhlekazi wami ilukujikela nje ngezinto ndithe ndazibonga kuba nama ndithethe phantsi kwazo kambe zininzi. Sikwanika inkxaso kuwe ngokuba ube lapha, sithemba kananjalo into okokubana kwakubakho umzila ngokubakho kwakho kwesi sikolo. Isikolo sona ibe yinxaxheba kuthi into okubana masizibandakanye nangona besikheswa kwesi sikolo, ngoba sikubona okonakalayo kusenziwa ngabantu bethu. Sabona ukuthi kufanele ukubana ixesha lifikile ubana size, asizange sicelwe mntu, seza ngeenyawo zombini sifuna ukubandakanywa, ngoba kaloku sifuna isikolo sabantwana bethu siphuhle, singadodobali, ibe sisikolo esiphantsi kolawulo olubonakalayo. Abasebenzi abebesemsebenzini ngexesha lomsebenzi bangajikelezi kwiilali esihlala kuzo. Nezixhobo zesikolo zilondolozwe ngendlela efanelekileyo. Loo nkxaso siyayidinga, sikunika into okubana ezezinto eziqwalaselekileyo ezo ukuze esi sikolo sibe kwindawo ekufanele ukubana sikuyo. Ndithunywe loo mazwi, ndiyabulela inkosi.
Hayi
ke andikaxhwali. Sibulele kakhulu lo ube phambi kwethu ke ibingu Mr. Sheikh Spego. Yena ungusihlalo weKiskama South Economic Development Cluster. Sibulela kakhulu Hlekazi ngako konke usibonisile ke ukuba unxulumelwano nabo beyicluster lesikolo esi. Usibonisile into yokuba ithetha ntoni kubo beyicluster, esisikolo sithetha ntoni kubo as a cluster. And uyabonakala into yokuba bazimisele ukuxhasa kakhulu umbono wesikolo and bazimisele ukuvikela ntorho izinto zethu apha nereiki zethu kuthiwa sijongiwe apha icluster. Niyabona xa nihamba nezireiki pha nehose pipe kuthiwa niyabona. Sivuyela liba lelishwe li-extra ke iyasincedisa kakhulu loo nto. Ndizawucela ke ngeli xesha sizama ukusondeza abantu bake bahlale endaweni zabo noko kusuke kwakho ii-gaps ezininzi ezikhoyo apha. Ndicela ngelo xesha sike sifumane ingoma ngeli xesha nisatya nokutya abantwana bam. Andingaculi ngemithambo kodwa. Okay, masiliyeke ke mhlawumbe nitye. Ngeli xesha ke i-SRC iphakamisa umntu ozawuzothetha apha. Ozawuthetha apho mele i-SRC nguSiphumze Tshikila ongu-Deputy President. Ndiyafuna ke ukuba ndikhe ndiyicacisele ndawo yale SRC. Asingekho apha bebengekho aba bantu kuthiwa zii-students ngoba lusikho ngabo apha. Besingazuzifumana nezi-apile ntorho ndisenezinqwala zabo. Uthi usihlalo wethu uthanda kakhulu into ye-gender based violence. I-gender balance selisike laqhele igama lejini ithethwa koko siphilayo unyanisile leyo. I-gender balance ngumuntu we-gender balance. Uyazi mhla kwakungena i-SRC zo-introducewa kwi-council unoba umuntu waye wacinga into yokuba yeyi unoba ube nesandla ke uchairperson xa kusonyulwa aba bantu. Ngoba safumanise into yokuba for the first time sine-president elilady and usecretary olilady. Uphinde kwakhona abantu abangabosisi phaya kula council, kula students representative council, abantu abaninzi ngamantombazana ngaphezu kwabafana. Ndaqonda walala onwabile ngaloo mini ngoba akhona igade njengaleyo. Usiphumze ke uzawuthetha la i-SRC. Anikwazanga nomphakamisa ke ngoba besakhe iapile. Namhlalisa phansi ke.
Ayibo molweni. I think lama-apile abekwe ngexesha elirong. Asinokwazi uwajikisa. Okay, guys, ndiyabulela. Ndincome inani uba uchairperson. Sibaninzi kakhulu. Ukuza kwam apha bendize ndiprepare i-speech. Ngoku ndithi xa ndijonga ndikhona ndiva namazwi endiwafumanayo apha emva kwam koomama nakootata. Ndithi esi speech sam as much as irrelevant but mandithethe into esuka kum ukuzivakala. Ndithethe into ephuma entliziyweni not into ekudala ndiyibamba. Ukwazi uba mayivakala. Tata ndizavele ndibeke kanjalo kwangoku kuba uzawuhlala ungutata wam ndide ndiyophuma. Uzawuhlala ungutata wethu ndiyophuma kube khona bezayo. Kucelwe wena uba mawusikhokhele tata.
you were chosen to be the captain of the ship. As otata be alanile u chairperson no data obesando phuma phambi kwami. Someone might say that we are in the sinking ship, looking at the surroundings and what has been happening, the events and all that. So what I would like to say is that ukhethile dad. Ungatsho wena mhlawumbi uthi kuzo zonke achievements zakho ukhethe eyona isezantsi, kodwa ke okona khetha kuyokonyula ezantsi usephezulu. Eyona nto siyidingayo ngoku. Andizungena deep kuba utata uyichaze yonke le nto kumele ichazile. Mna ngase ndivele kwicala le students. Sifuna ingomso tata. Ingomso esifunayo asifuni uyohlala eziofisini kuba sibonile uba lisebenzi kakhulu ngoku. Sifuna uzenzela ukutya kwethu. Sifuna ukuzixhelela inyama yethu. Le ndawo sikuyo unumber 1 ndawuhlala ndisitsho kudala ndatsho. Ukhethiwe nje tata unexanduva elikhulu kakhulu. Now I would like to say that you are even in a bigger position than a president, because a president ujonge kuyo yonke indawo wena ujonge ifuture, ujonge ezantsi, ujonge ekutyeni. That's a crucial part. Ujonge ekutyeni something. Mr. Tafa ngandinqinela phayana umfundisi wami we-food systems. Kukho into esigxila kuyo kakhulu, that is local food systems. That's where kuphuhliswa i-locals, so that sizawufika phezulu, because bakhe saqala kwi-locals, that's where apho uqala khona. Intlupheko iqala ezantsi, iqala apha locally iyofika phezulu, ayiqali pha phezulu. So ngalo mazwi lawo tata ndiyawucela ukukhuthaza uba ujonge. There's a big gap, there's a big gap between students and the management. Sicela iphele tata. Uba unerabha sicela uyisuse uthathe udibanise. Loo ndlela ukwazi ngayo. Because silapha sonke. Silapha because sine objective. So ndicela ukwehla tata ngalo mazwi. Ndibulela kakhulu. Ukwilane bendiyibekile kapha tata enqonde ndabona yabona le irrelevant kakhulu. Bendirhalela uyiveza nje kancinci nangona bendithe esi speech sam ndisibeke ecaleni. There was a saying by R.D. Kipling, which, and I quote, said, "For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack." So uzawudibanisa ke tata nazawuthatha kwicala lam ndithi thina siyi-pack as students. Uyawudibanisa ke tata. Ndibulela kakhulu ndiyehla.
Basibulele kusiphumze siphinde simqhwabele kwakhona izandla. Ndicela ke ikhaya leya izomhlalisa phansi, ayinokokudala lisitya ngafanga amazinyo ke lokhu. You know, ngela xesha besithetha thina ngexesha lethu besingenawuthetha ngolhlobo kuthetha ngalo osiphumze. Because thina sasithetha ngento yoba mama ndifuna ukuhamba mna ndiyofundela ubunesi, ndifuna uba yitishara mna, ndifuna uthi yena usiphumze. Thina asifuni ukungena ofisini yamntu, sifuna uzenzela yethu office, sizenzele wethu umsebenzi, kube sithi abazaba ngabaqeshi. Singabe sifuna imisebenzi, sinika abantu imisebenzi. That was a mouthful. Ithetha ukuthi loo nto xa sisithi kubo the future is in your hands. Xa sisithi the future is in their hands, asithethi ngezandla ezizabo zenyama. Sithetha nge-tools abazinikiweyo. These are the tools that they are getting from here. Babasebenzise the tools that they are getting from Fort Cox, bahambe bayokwenza imisebenzi ngokwabo. Phambi kokuba ndinikezele ke phakamisa i-alumni yethu yalapha. Eli lady ngethamsanqa ndilazi i-contribution yalo mhla sasisenza i-strategic planning sasise-King Williamstown. Sasim-invitile. Sathi makeze because siyafuna bazosixelela into yoba babesenza kanjani ukuze babe baphumelele. Baphinde basixelele kwakhona uba yintoni eningasayenzi kakuhle ngoku. So sasim-invitile to be part of the strategic planning. I-contribution yakhe sasishiyeka sisizixelela into yoba yeyi ngasike sivele simthathe kwakulaa department aphangela kuyo abuye agoduke. Lowo ke graduated with a diploma in animal health, currently employed as an animal health technician at Dr. Da, Amatole district. Mrs. Tembakazi Xoxo nguye ke uzawuphakama namhlanje masimqhwabele njengobephakama nje. Zonke ke alumni nani nisazawubazizo seniqono business abakhulu nisizawuzothetha akuba nifike njani nisibone njani uba nifikile.
Enkosi mama program director, ndibulise bethunana njengoba sachaza into yoba ndibulisa abantu nabani bese kubulisiwe. Kodwa ke umbuliso nje okhethekileyo to the principal and the CEO yase Fort Cox Molobuti. This marks a new era, and we are hoping for the turning of the tide to the direction of the wind. Our worlds have crossed 32 years ago in this part of the world. And again, but that was 32 years ago when I was where you are. This is a very special moment to welcome you, Mr. Principal, in this position and wish you all the best and a productive future. As former students, we still have interest in this institution, and we are eager to assist so that it adds value and improve livelihoods. We pledge our support to the management and the student body. We say we are a phone call away. Let's work together and take Fort Cox to new heights. To the students, be ready to work hard so you learn to produce and not to be job seekers. That time is long gone. At the time when we were here, 32 years ago, we were 16 ladies. First year, second years, and third years, the whole college. We were 16. And at that time, we managed to cut across all the faculties. Even if it was one, but we were represented in all the faculties. And guess what? All the ladies who were here at the time, we were ready to work hard and we were brave. I admire your bravery, ladies. For the mere fact that you are enrolled in this institution, it means you are brave and you are ready to work hard. And the world is waiting for you out there to go and make the change, create a wave so that the others who wants to ride may ride on your wave. To the council and the principal and the management, we are very grateful and we appreciate that you acknowledge our presence. And we are always ready to walk right with you into taking Fort Cox into the new heights. If and when the time comes, Mr. Principal, you will see that there is a need because the direction of the wind has changed. You are capable. Change your sails so that they meet the direction of the winds. Thank you.
And neighbor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mkhululi. Very much, Mr. Besune Banzela. Usihlalo. Limpono. Usihlalo we-union in a half. Ingoma yakho ifunale union yakwazi account ifunale union
Bhakama wemsebenzi ixesha lisondele Bhakama wemsebenzi ixesha Long live spirit of Mgolombane, long live. Long live spirit of Msobomfu, long live. Long live the spirit of Ngosumrika, long live. Adakolo. Thank you very much, Program Director. Revolutionary greetings to the Program Director. The representatives from the Amahlati local municipality, the councillor, Honorable Chairperson of Council, Dr. Lupuana, Honorable Deputy Chairperson of Council, Ambassador Mama Makasha, the Honorable Members of Council present here, Professor Bua, Mr. Dlamini, Mr. Mnguni, and Chief Gaega, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Fort Cox, Professor Buhlungu, our Honorable Principal, Mr. Mkhululi Mankazana, Fort Cox management staff, traditional leaders and community representatives present here, Mr. Keku, departmental officials, guests from different stakeholders, workers, alumni representatives, the choir, and the Fort Cox community at large, Mankazana. It is, of course, Mr. Program Director, a great honor for me to be standing here this afternoon and representing the constituency of Nahau. And it is so unfortunate, Honorable Principal, that there's only one recognized labor union in Fort Cox. And about 90% of the Fort Cox community is Nehao. And therefore, we are not taking for granted those who are not members of Nehao as if they are not forming part of the workforce in Fort Cox. We firstly welcome you, Honorable Principal, to this community of Fort Cox as the workforce. And we are pledging that we are going to deliver and give you whatever support that you may need at any point in time. You are not coming to Fort Cox for the first time. You once served Fort Cox in early 90s to mid 90s. You are born, bred, and groomed in the Eastern Cape. You started serving Fort Cox as a lecturer. Maybe some of us here are not aware that you once became an HOD here at Fort Cox. You became a deputy principal of Fort Cox and an acting principal of this institution. Therefore, you know Fort Cox left, right, and center. You know each and every corner of Fort Cox. You are aware of the challenges, achievements, and developments of that time. It is in the interests of the workforce, Honorable Principal, that as you come to lead this institution, you transform this institution, because we feel like there's a transformation needed in the institution. We are aware of that in different areas. Maybe I can mention few that we pledge that we are going to support you in leading that transformation process. One, in staff development and capacitation, so as you have growth in terms of our staff, so as to respond to the fourth industrial revolution. We can't have a staff that's still at the second industrial revolution. So we promise, Honorable Principal, that we are going to support you in trying by all means to capacitate and to develop staff, so that laphela Honorable Mgunela xesha loba sifika nathi ba eziklasini si confuse abantwana sibaxela ngamaxesha o-irrigator, oba ngo-7 funeka niyo-irrigator, ngo-3 funeka niyo-irrigate. Even these days abantu abamhlophe be-irrigator behlela apha e-ofisini, evule ikhompyutha yakhe acofe into yobana phaa eland 8 maku-irrigate, mabuye ku-irrigate phaa ezantsi, maku-irrigate Old College, ehlela apha e-ofisini. So we need to be developed in those areas as staff members. 2, we are going to support you, Honorable Principal, in making a track record of our product in order for us to respond to the call on unemployment rate reduction. Because if we do not know where our product is, as the employees of Fort Cox, whether they are working or not, then we are not going to be able to respond to that call to eradicate unemployment. In that also to respond, or maybe as we track our product, to check and assess whether are we still producing the relevant product. Izinto ziyatshintsha babandle, Honorable Chairperson, that you will find out nobana namagama positions ahamba abatshintshe. Sigqibele kwi-extension officers. Now says the agricultural advisors. And now we need to check whether the product that we are producing is still a project that is relevant or that is going to respond to the needs of the country. Or we're still producing for them to be employed by government. So that's another area that we wish to pledge that we are going to support in doing that track record. 3, this one could allocate to building sound relations with communities around and stakeholders. Specifically, Singabasebenzi, we have targeted 2 municipalities, which is the Raymond Mhlaba municipality and Amahlati local municipalities. Working hand in hand with those municipalities, I think we can transform this institution. We also want to challenge the departmental officials here that it is clear to us that there are no relations between Fort Cox and the departments. They were there before, but they started to go down and down and down. I can make an example, Mr. Mkhululi. We used to have some fleet from the department. Find out that when we struggle here and there, the department will spare us some fleet. So those relations, I think they need to be re-established. We are aware as the workforce, honorable members, that for each and every transformation, there are challenges. Because when you want to transform an organization, you firstly need to transform the human resource. Without transforming the human resource, you will never transform the organization. Secondly, you need to change culture. If you have an old culture and you want to transform, then you are not going to be able to meet that task. Thirdly, you need to put in place some new systems when you want to transform an organization. Fourthly, you need to have a vision of where do you want to take the institution or the organization. And lastly, you respond to the vision of the country. Because that's what they always say, it's Vision 2030. So we want to assure you, Honorable Principal, that as you will lead that process of transformation, as workers, will journey with you. Of course, there's going to be some challenges along the way. In conclusion, it is in our minds, Honorable Principal, that as we pledge this support to you, transformation is not going to be easy. Tobin Rick talks of 12 reasons why employees resist change in an organization. But let me just mention 10. One, it is the fear of the unknown. We're in the process of functional shift, and most institutions will resist to go there because they don't know what is going to, is to fear this animal that you don't know. And then you say, I better stay with the animal I know. Number two, it is a misunderstanding about the need for change. So in other words, we expect that as you transform the institution, you explain and define clearly why do we have to toe this line. Because once we miss that understanding, we are not going to be able to be transformed. Three, the lack of competence. Because one would say, I don't want to take this because the skills I have might not suit the line that is being told. Four, connected to the old way of doing things. So, resista ukuchinja. Uhamba bathi ngo-1995 ukufika kwethu kule institution into ethile nethile yayihamba ngolhlobo asinawukwazi uyitshintsha, even if i-conditions ne-generation or i-situation doesn't allow that. The low trust. Once abantu baluza ukuthemba wangakuthembi, they can resist change. Not being consulted, we plead on you, Principal, that for whatever change that is going to take place, let the stakeholders be consulted and have a common understanding of what the change is all about. Poor communication is another one. Once we start to see anything happening somewhere, somehow, that we are not used to it. I talked about culture earlier on. Our culture, then we start to see something coming from the management that this is what is going to happen. Without any communication, there's going to be a problem. Change in the status quo. Abantu, they can resist because what if lastly, Honorable Principal, there's the benefits and rewards. I'm a critical. That can resist change because just our lose. Must change and go step and go from. benefita kule line bekuhatshwa. In those few words, Honorable Principal, we want to wish you all the best in your stay and in your leadership at Fort Cox. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you so much. Marvelous, excellent. Thank you. Very nice words. As a funny culture. Principal, we umamele njengoba sithetha nje as stakeholders, because this forms the basis for his mandate in office. Lekwaya ngingibeka kahle ndiyayiphinda lento diyekile ukuthi ngathi la awe iKTH Chiefs, because abanyoza bo ifuna siphume si united kodwa bawuhlahlala bayibone wena nyathi kuzoba phambili. Tatu chat yizo abantu usenazo bofu into zakho izikhombo ndingaku zikhona ndingakoyisela indlekazi.
Good afternoon, protocol officers and protocol community at large. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome the principal on behalf of the college management. But before I just go to the vote of support, I would like to take this opportunity, in fact, to thank the management for making sure that the institution didn't fall apart in the absence of principal. And I know there is a lot of efforts done. Equally, I need also to take this opportunity to thank the college employees and the student community. Obviously, you will have differences. Ultimately, the intention is, even if there is a difference, people have to work together. And I think management has tried all the best it can be possible, and I need to take once more again to thank them. Second, I think I need also to take this opportunity, in fact, to divulge a little information, because I was an acting principal. I know what it takes to appoint a very competent principal. Okay? The council has been working hard, and I was, in fact, had the privilege of knowing, in fact, the kind of energy they put, simply because they had a great vision, a vision of creating an ideal institution that can be replicated throughout the continent. And I know also, I had the privilege to work with Mr. Mankazana for quite a long time ago. I know him for more than 14, 15 years. And I know what kind of caliber he is. So it's a great privilege. In fact, it's a good match between the vision of the council and the competency of Mr. Mankazana. As management, we have been trying, as much as we can, but now, Mr. Mankazana will have a different, a vision that really takes, the vision of the council into a higher level, at least implementing it. In that, I think management has to play a great role, because no leader can succeed unless he gets the good support. And for that, as management, we commit ourselves to give him all the support at all times. Okay? Second, he comes also in a very interesting time for agricultural college. That makes him, in fact, very, important for the institution right now. Fort Cox is quite unique comparing with all other colleges. You do have 11 colleges, and Fort Cox is the only one which is semi-autonomous. Now, the time is right now, colleges are doing some functional shift. They will become national competence, most likely in the beginning of next financial year. The fact that Mr. Mankazana was one of the prominent leaders in the department, and specifically on education and training, that gives him, in fact, a better strength to really lead us, in fact, to a higher height, and at the same time to adopt, in fact, all the challenges that comes up in front of us. With that, I think I don't want to take much of your time, except to repeat once more again, as management, we'll give him our sincere support at all times, and welcome once more again. Thanks so much.
Tetile, hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Rai. Thank you so much. I call him Lou, and others think I'm mistaken. And until he is told that the local vernacular, if you got a name that's Lou something or Mulu something, then we call you affectionately what? Lou. Oh, by the way, then since he came, he's an internationalist, obviously came from abroad. So then Tinage Singojola Okenge Bumpagomo. Omye way to Ujola. Hands together for Ujola. Appropriately, the department, the National Department, Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. They also have a provincial department, or if you like, the regional office. I would like to acknowledge from the regional office of that national department. Mr. Mzi Titimane. Also from the national department, we did introduce Ms. Mkhululi, we definitely did. We did. So we're now gonna ask both of them to share the minutes that would have been used by one of them, because we don't want to cut out the regional office or to cut out the national office. We would like to ask them to come and share the space and share the podium
Thank you, Program Director, and thank you for the song, although I can see that there was not much energy into it, but thank you. The effort is recognized. My name is Masarame Majujwa, not Makutwa. I wish it was Makutwa because I would have heard all the speeches. So I only had 20%. So that's the disadvantage of not learning from my side. Greetings to everyone. I would like to start by greeting our Mama, Umam Gaika, and thank you, Mama, for the land. It's rare to find a college that can say we have the land that we are on it. In most colleges, they are still under another authority. So that's a very progressive move from the chieftaincy. We are appreciating that. Greetings to the mayor's office. The youth are saying the future is female. Then we are seeing it now, but we are not leaving the boy child behind. We're taking them with us. Thank you, the council, the vice chancellor, the chairperson of the council, the members of the council, and greetings also to our labor representative for representing Abasebenzi. My fellow alumni, congratulations. I can see that there is progress in that side. You actually are better than me. I'm also an agricultural college alumni. I studied at an agricultural college in Taung. So I know how it feels to be here as a student. Is very good. The representative from the cluster, Dr. Da, and my fellow colleagues from Dalrat. Chairperson is not Dr. Da. Dr. Da is the province, and Dr. DLR has been merged with DAF, and we removed forestry and fisheries. So we are the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development. Dalrat, thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, not forgetting our main person that brought us here, the principal, Mr. Mankazana. Greetings to all of you. And thank you for inviting me or inviting the department to this event. We really appreciate it. And it's actually setting the trend. I believe that Fort Cox is the first college to inaugurate the principal, but with Fort Cox, everything starts here, in the side of the colleges of agriculture. They are the ones that own the land, they are the ones that have got semi-autonomy, they are the ones that have got an advanced diploma. So you can see that this is where we've got a bright future. And we're going to learn from Fort Cox. I'm speaking on the airtime of the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, and we wish to express our sincere and warm congratulations to the new principal. This is from my Chief Director, Mkhululi, and the department. Mr. Mankazana is not new to this space. We've worked with him, and I must say, the moment that we heard the news that he's being appointed, everybody was smiling within the department, because we know that 80% of our job is done. That is with the transfer of colleges and the transforming of the colleges, because having him in our team means that we've got the knowledge, we've got the experience that we need to move this ship that we are in it. We'd also like to congratulate the council for acquiring his services. And I must say, I had a lot of interactions with the council, and one thing that I appreciate with the council is that they are so focused in what they are doing. There is so much level of professionalism and accountability within the council that you will feel that here, if I don't come with my story straight, then they will throw you out. They started with intimidating me, but we ended up agreeing on many things. So we believe that with the new principal's knowledge, experience, and the networks that he has in the sector, and even international networks, even with the council members, we will be able to deliver what we've been hired to do with these colleges. A lot of speakers has hinted on the fact that we are busy with the process of shifting the colleges to national competence and declaring them as higher education colleges. It's high time that our institutions are also recognized. They also operate like any other academic institution in the country and have the benefits, especially our kids. That is heartbreaking that they are not benefiting like any other child within South Africa. But that will change, I promise. And the fact of the declaration that is that it will actually assist us to focus our excellence in whatever area that we choose to be, to make sure that we improve our learning and teaching environment, to transform our institutions, and also contribute to the growth and development of the country in a deliberate way that we paved for ourselves. So the need to proactively position this college cannot be overemphasized. And I'm confident that with you, sir, Mankazana, we will be able to do that. With your leadership, we will be able to take the institution to the new heights. You are lucky you did not find an institution that is not functional, because there was management that carried their job during the interim. But we believe that you will continue to maintain the level of professionalism, the integrity in capacitating our youth, capacitating the people who will carry our sector forward. And as the department, we pledge to always work with Fort Cox, to always work with the community of Fort Cox, the stakeholders, and any other academic institution and partners that are with us, and to support you in recrafting or taking forward the vision that's already crafted by the institution and making sure that we set it at a higher level than it is right now. May the future be filled with success to you personally, to the management, to the college, to the alumni, to the community of Fort Cox, and most importantly, let's pray for our children that their future is brighter than what it is right now. Congratulations once more, sir. Thank you.
Mandibulise kumphathi wenkqubo uJola umphankomo umqadi. Andithandi ke Jola igama lam xa lingabizwa kakuhle. Ndenze mana xa ndibhudile apha kuthiwe bekubhude kubani. Ndingumzi wamadoda, fani yam ndinguTitimani, ndiyi-director kwa-Dalrat e-Amathole District, offices phaya eMonti. Xa ndizawubulisa umama uGayika, ndlela yethu inde kudala sizihamba indawo sobabili. Ndibulise nomama uMeya. Balana nje elifutshane umama uMeya sigilene ngapha ePitori. Siphaya sengazani sobabili le mali nithethe abantu abangathethi isiXhosa awunyasika sikathethe isiXhosa efonini sabonana sangabantu abazanayo. It's not so long ago. Ndiyabulisa mama kunye nesigqeba nomama. Ndibulisa kwi-council, kwi-governing council yase-Fort Cox. Ndibulisa kwi-lecturers zase-Fort Cox, ndibulisa kwi-colleagues zam. Ndibulisa kuMr Mankazana osenze into yobana sibe lapha sonke namhlanje. Kunzima ke chairperson uthetha emveni koba abantu bethethe bonke. Ndibulisa i-University of Fort Hare endizawuthetha ngayo apha emelongumama, because you cannot divorce the Fort Cox College to the University of Fort Hare. Awukwazi tu uyenza loo nto. Congratulations, Mr. Mankazana. District yase-Amathole, community yalapha eXesi naseQoboqobo, singamafama, sizi-officials. Sibulela apha kwi-council into yokubana kuthi phambi kwabantu abaninzi esicinga uba bebejongene nabo babone into yokubana bekufanele into yokubana ibe nguwe that is going to lead this institution. Sicinga bafanele basebenze kakhulu. Andizuba sathetha ke ezazinto uvice lo we-ARC we-SRC uthe abalandi beyipreparishile ayisalunganga ujonga le audience. That's exactly what had happened to me. So andisayi kuyo tu ngoku because ndiyibonile uba ikweyiphini level. Kodwa ndifuna nje Doc ukuzoba nje umfanekiswano omncinci. There was a deliberate effort that there was an agricultural high school called Pandulwazi, which agricultural high school had an extra subject in practical agriculture out of the 6, which was built in 1981, in 1979, 1978, yes. Now, the reason for that was there was the deliberate effort that we must groom young people in agriculture while they are young, so that they grow with agriculture. And Fort Cox was the next level, that you pass your matric in Pandulwazi, being an agricultural high school that was sponsored by Oppenheimer to the Ciskei government of the time, after which you pass and then you come to Fort Cox, you graduate at Fort Cox. But there was another deliberate effort, Doc, when you do a 3-year degree diploma at Fort Cox, you are automatically credited for your first year at the University of Fort Hare to do your B.Agric. That's why the city, you can't divorce Fort Cox to the University of Fort Hare in terms of the agricultural space. Andiyazi noba ngoku Doc isenzeka naloo nto, ndiyabe ikhona naloo nto. Uba ke Mr. Mankazana ayenzeki, I think this is the opportunity time that we go back there. You pass at Fort Cox College, your diploma, you are credited for the first year at the University of Fort Hare. That was a deliberate effort. And the reason why I say this, chairperson of the board, it is fortunate that I am a beneficiary of that. I graduated at this college. I graduated here in this place, in this hall, and I was credited for the first year at the University of Fort Cox, and figure Fort and figure in the second year. To because I'll end up talking about myself. But I'm just showing a picture that there was a deliberate effort that there was an agricultural high school called Padwas, which had a 7th subject, which was then called practical agriculture, where students will go out and do practicals, and you write that as a 7th subject. So that ungaphume Padwas kwi-agricultural high school, kuthiwa xa kuthiwa yiza nebhadiza wena uze nesiza. Those are two different things. Isiza ke sisikere esisowusik, ibhadiza leyo castrator ibulls. That was the reason that there was that. So ndizama ukuthi ke Dr. Mankazana, I think there is an opportunity that as a college we need to find a way to get there. 2, apha ke Tatulpwan, sivuka ngo-6, sihambe siyosenga inkomo, siqokelela ubisi, sifithe ihagu, sikline ihagu, ngo-8 o'clock siseziklasini. Sifunda imini yonke, sifunda i-theory. Ngo-2 o'clock, our lecturer is waiting for us emasimini. Exactly what we did in theory, eklasini, it's now in practice emasimini. That's the curriculum of this college, and this college must follow that curriculum. Because and what he was saying is actually student movement. You don't want to leave this institution ungazi into. The reason why we left the institution and we became managers of the agricultural schemes at that time is because it was 50 practical and it was 50 theory. Why are you in an agricultural college when you cannot do anything with your hands, with your profession? You can't. So the college must find a way to tweak the curriculum such that it speaks to what is happening out there today. That's what I want to propose to Mr. Mankazana and his team and the board thereof. Because xa usithi ufunde i-agricultural management, thina abantu bafunde i-agriculture asikwazi uthetha ngantoni. Because thina we want to see you being out there doing exactly laa nto buyifunde esikolweni. That was the reason, Mr. Mankazana, actually, that we left the college. We became farm managers immediately after we left the college because of the practical that we got from this institution. I think that is very important. So, silapha ke CE district and CE region, we want to pledge support that in whatever form of support, we will be behind the college. Because the college is not only about the college, it is it within the community where we all reside. As an institution, we have Zanyokwe project that is just across the Eppens Hill. That institution belongs to the department, it belongs to the people of Benz Hill, Lenye, and all those places. We are supporting Zanyoke project. But we want to put a challenge to the college because we want to support the college. Our farmers at Zanyoke project, they buy seedlings in East London. They buy seedlings that they are growing in East London. They go past Fort Cox, past King Williamstown, and they go to it. What are they doing in East London? We have got a college here. Here is the nursery. We need to revive that nursery such that the nursery becomes an income generating part of the college. We are here to support you, Mr. Mankazana, and your team to ensure that the money that we give to our farmers at Zanyokwe comes straight from Zanyokwe to the college, so that there is sustainability in the financials of the college. That is what we are pledging today. That's number one. Number two, we've got service providers that said to us that they are accredited in training farmers, and we employ them. Why should we do that? We've got the old college. There is accommodation in the old college. Why are we not paying Fort Cox as a college to train our own farmers? Why are we taking them too far? So we want to pledge as a department that as soon as you put your foot down and you've got your programs with your colleagues of the college, we want to ensure that we bring our farmers to this college so that they are trained in this college. We want to pledge that support. Ubake amantshontsha akho ayathengiswa phaa eFort Cox phezulu e-old college. It's something that we love. It's something that we are supporting. But my question is, why are we not buying the heifers of the Bonsmaras from the same old college? Why not? Why? Fort Cox has got the best soils. Fort Cox has got the best vegetation. Fort Cox is in a sweet belt. Fort Cox has got the case camera running around Fort Cox. But why are we buying the heifers of Bonsmara elsewhere when we have the college that has the knowledge, that has the people, that has the grasses that are eaten by the same Bonsmara cattle? We want to ensure that the very same college, that is an institution where they can generate more income through selling their own animals to the very commercial farmers. That is the future of Fort Cox. Kutheni kuzawusukumntu apha eXhwaku ayothenga ibhokhwe eBerlin? Why? We have a college here. So akhwela iteksi othenga ibhokhwe eQonce. Why? When we have a college here. In actual fact, dog, the sheep, the goats, the pigs were produced here. They were produced here. We were here. We were students here. We were producing. Or maybe let me remind you, if Fort Cox bantwana bam ayizange ithenge vegetable. Zange ithenge Fort Cox vegetable. Vegetables are produced at the college. There's no budget. CFO. There's no budget CFO to buy vegetables at Fort Cox. No budget. Not for vegetables. The vegetables must come from the land. If there is grant from the government, that grant, that's what it must do. Here are the students for their practicals, and Ukona Notata Ogane how he has pledged support to do that. Can you imagine that you come from an agricultural college, Simbolu Haba, Food and Veg Vincent? What are you doing there? If possible, that must come to the end. You can't. In actual fact, how would you think otherwise? Because the lands are here. The water is here, irrigation is here, the technology is here, human resource is here. And you leave all that, you go to Vincent and buy a bunch of spinach. We want, as a department, to say we are with the college. We want to support the college. We do have experts in the department who can also assist the college in many of those aspects. I think a board, a governing council, nisenzele i-favor thina singabantu base-Eastern Cape. Ngosiphathela Mr. Mankazana. What a favor. Andiyazi lento iyathanda ukwenzeka but andiyazi yenzeka njani. how do you want to find someone to lead an agricultural institution when that person does not have an agricultural qualification? How does it happen? Because the favor that we find from the board is that they found someone who has got an agricultural qualification, in actual fact for him and many more. But the baseline is that you must have an agricultural qualification. And they found Mr. Mankazana. If I tell you, students, he is a champion on his own. He's a champion of agriculture. He is a strategist. Lecturers, guess what? Between Nina and Mr. Mankazana. Number one, Mr. Mankazana, he doesn't like people about theory. He likes people who does things or who do things. Don't come to Mr. Mankazana and theorize. It's not gonna work for you. Where's me? Mr. Mankazana, I tell them about I can assure you. While we are talking, I was Melanie and Mr. Mankazana. Period. Students. I graduated here, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about the college. And I was credited for a year, and I went to the University of Fort Cox, and I passed my degree at Fort Cox. But the bottom line is that today, and I am not alone, I am all these colleagues that I have here, they are champions in their own rights, in their own spaces. All of you guys, please stand up. Please, they are champions in their own rights at their own spaces. Nurses located up before. But the bottom line, we are the products of Fort Cox. Thank you. Where we come from together in a many years ago. But the bottom line is that today we are saying Fort Cox is the winner. Because there are people like me today who are directors of the department, but the bottom line is we are graduates of Fort Cox. That's the bottom line. And the reason why I say this is because, you know, when you are a student who said the second year at college, you don't even think further about your future. You test, and then you want to go home. But I want to tell you today, for you, this is the beginning of something and the end of nothing. Because tomorrow we want to see you in our own positions because you are also the graduates of this institution. As a phone, if Fort Cox Ife. No, probably we Fort Cox. It was Mkhululi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Great words. The principal is in the Wonga Council is in the Nonke. Beautiful words. These are again by some of the powers vested in me. But before that, who's our introduce our principal, but his teachers says yes, I'm busy and I get down. So sending them over, no, it's okay. It is our tell about who Mankazana so shall is a spouse to the principal, okay? Better. Mankazana. ndiyalamla kuba ingxaki abantu bafuna uthathe le ndawo kaMhlekazi bacinga umama Mankazana ngulo principal siyamkhulula ke ngoba thank you so much ma'am for joining us. Ndichilo bethuna sipha eqaleni ba imfundimane nochwenene nabantu abakhulu ba sensitive kwinto ezithile. Kodwa basimana ungena apha eqongeni bandibethe bese babe sendixolisile saxolisa still. I'm not an expert in pronouncing all surnames. I developed because I know I can't even try. There are so many others that I cannot pronounce. I'm so sorry about that. I really do apologize. Abanye banibethela no pronounce the department. These are rocket department. These are very dedicated people who like their department so much. Thank you so much. But I do apologize again. You know, where I call your surname wrong, where I call your name wrong, or we now Sinentonga is that we thought we will not write on the program. And we thought that, however, would make this day even super excellent. Ngoba I grace ashiye zonke izinto zakhe ezibalulekileyo azokuba kunye nathi azokusipha naye amazwi obulumko. Despite my time, but I'm just going to be timeless in asking because then we touch anyway. I'm just going to be timeless in asking the none other than the rector of, or the vice chancellor, if you like. It's the same thing. It depends the angle of an ambuy of the University of Fort Ukuba aze phakathi kwethu azokuba namazwi okusomeleza nohomo in the sense of mandate, especially to the principal and to everyone else. Unendlela nje unetyala kuthethiwe kuthethwe kakuhle. I wish that ukhe into kuzo zonke izithethe. Kwaya khawuze nento yokugqibela manje siphakamisele Jingalwazi. Jingalwazi into naxa ihamba kwaya ngokukwaya resenza ihamba kanje Jingalwazi. You know the reason? Ugcwele i-information kwidloga. Kugcwele i-information Jingalwazi. Akujingi nje Jingalwazi. Knowledge. Amabhakani akazuthanda knowledge musona. Ukhona sundowns kanene of late. Hey, ukhona shalu ntoni shalu. Ubani? Ushalulile. Ushalulile. Hayi siyaphela. Sistibili there, Mr. Stephen, let's have those type besides. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Chaka. Ushaka Kashayek. Thank you.
Africa.
Program Director. Because of time, I'm not going to greet everyone individually. I'm just going to follow, because of time again, and say all protocols observed. The Program Director, I'm going to disappoint because today I'm not able to demonstrate that walk, that special walk that you were talking about. So, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm very pleased to witness this occasion, Mr. Mankazana. First of all, the reason I came here specifically was to deliver the congratulations of myself on my own behalf and on behalf of the University of Fort Hare. It's a very special moment for us, very special. But also it's very important that we in higher education institutions, we hold hands, we work together. The most difficult job today, one of the most difficult jobs, is to lead an academic or educational institution. In many respects, it can be a thankless task. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the faint-hearted. So, but let me go back before I make people a little scared about that. Fort Cox inkabayayo ilapezansi abesapha. In 1930. Fort Hare was at the table when the decision to establish this college was taken. It was at the table. So we're not pretenders by being here. We are at home, Sekai. Sekai. In similar fashion, that Lovedale was at the table when the University of Fort Hare was being established. So we followed in that tradition. So it's very, very important that those origins, and I'm not narrating them here for the sake of narrating, for the sake of history. It's important that every generation of student that comes through here knows that. It's important, Mr. Titimani, that history that you were telling, that articulation between this college and the university, everyone should know about it. And I'll speak about that a little bit more. The partnership, some people will notice that I've been here a few times now. The last time I was here was graduation, earlier this year. I had a wonderful time here. I had the honor even of holding some of the advanced diploma students or graduates here earlier this year. It's always a special moment, as you know. I've been here, we've started discussions when Dr. Arai was acting. I specifically came here with some of our colleagues to initiate and reignite those relationships. Because yes, let's face it, there was a time, before our time, before your time, well before your time, Mr. Mankazana, when that relationship collapsed. When it was allowed to collapse for reasons I cannot understand. But also, there was a time when our colleges and the university were allowed to go down. Yes, it is true. Our colleges, our institutions were allowed to go down, to decay. Things were difficult. And so as we welcome the new principal here, and I have 5 years to show for it, the job now is to lift things up. Sometimes we cut him away. Sometimes you figure saying that that's our task. And that's why for me it's important, and I've learned it from others, that having someone who's there, who's focused in similar fashion, is very important. And so my coming here is for that purpose with the new principal. He knows this, he comes well experienced, he's highly recommended, he's got the qualifications, he's got the skills, and that counts for much
a job. The one thing now, we need collegial support. We need to support one another. Ininzi ke lento le democracy, futhi le democracy esasifo. So ba xa ingena uMr Mankazana mna ndimtyhalele ezantsi. Ndifuna ukukhwela enhloko yakhe ndinyuke ndodwa. Xa ingathi uyashayina, funeka angashayini, funeka shayine nandodwa. Yeah, ininzi laa nto. And as we are doing that, we've killed this country. We've killed this country. In the post-colonial period, from the 60s till now, the one economy that was killed by its own champions is this one. One country that's been killed. We've killed everything. And I want to say, Mr. Mankazana, one of the things, certainly in the university sector, I'm not sure about the colleges, one of the things now that's happening is that there are attempts to kill the universities themselves. You hear about crisis. Every day there's crisis at the University of X and Y and Z. And there was a time they thought it was a disease of the former black universities. But now we see it at the former white universities. I'm sure Nyayazine, Icharog. So our job is here as principals and VCs and rectors and all of that is to be, together with our staff, together with our students, together with our councils, to be the last line of defense. Last line of defense for standards, last line of defense for proper governance, last line of defense for the future of young people. That's our job now. That's why I was saying it's not easy, but it's also exciting. Because when the tide turns, we should be there. We should be among those who are part of turning that tide. So rebuilding institutions is not easy. Kawafika, your official, I won't name them, but they said something so true, and I won't embrace it as my statement. But he came to the university visiting from Pretoria, one important department. He came to help. So in his attempt to help, he said something. I want to leave us with this, all of us, because at one level, iyalumeza, this thing that he said, but another level, there's a grain of truth in it. And that's why our jobs are so much more difficult. And this person, again, I don't want to take ownership of the statement. Wathi, kutheni into esiziphetheyo thina bantu abamnyama kule democracy soloko zinuka isihogolo nje? Kutheni izinto esizifumeneyo sazifumana zi-right kodwa once siziphathe zinuka isihogolo? So part of the job part of the job of a principal now, part of the job of a vice chancellor now, ukususa nokutyura ezazihogolo. So Mr. Mankazana andikothusi andikoyikisi ngaloo nto, masityuleke, let's join hands sisuse ezihogolo, because it's very, very important. Now, just on very concrete issues, Mr. Titimane started a very important discussion here, which is already in hand, which is already something that we're seized with. Earlier this year, last year, I came to visit the college and spoke to the principal and staff. And one of the things we raised even then was what in today's policy language is called articulation. That the student from Fort Cox, it should be possible for them to come and get credited with some of their courses here. Or maybe like they did before, to credit them with an entire level, depending. It may not work that way entirely, that people get credited with an entire level first year, but it should be possible that they get credited with several of the modules, of the courses that they do here. That's something that we're very keen on. That's something that we're very keen on. It's not something that we're doing just for Fort Cox. One of our stakeholder relations drive now is to talk to the colleges, to the agricultural colleges. Remember, we are the only university in this region that teaches agriculture. So the idea now is that we should have a forum, the university and the colleges, and we thresh out this question of articulation so that there's uniformity. Leya kutsolo itisha events, para-vets, we should sit down because we are developing a vet school at Fort Hare, a veterinary science school. Okay, so all of those things now, there are things that are on the table. Unfortunately, Mr. Titiman, at some point, I said, Dr. Right, it's not there anymore. It's not there. So what we need to do now is to revive Mkhululi. Again, so that partnership is very important, but also historically this partnership has always been something is there. In fact, the partnership, you might say this is an ironic kind of situation. In 1990, 1991 was signed on a MOU. Go to the citizens and our comrades, right, but I'm also delighted to say now, as part of this partnership, we have a representative on the council of the college, Professor Bua Kamureng, who is here with us. She's an associate professor at the university and serves in her own right as a board member here at Fort Cox. Once again, we're very delighted to have that connection solidified in that manner. The last thing I want to say, Mr. Mankazana, is once again, I came here to offer a hand of friendship and collegiality between yourself, myself, and the university and the college. And we will continue. We're very serious about it. And of course, to wish you all the best. And I'm very confident that we will take this relationship forward. Thank you very much.
How about giving 10 minutes more, ladies and gentlemen? Hands together for the Vice Chancellor of the University of Fort Hare. Well thought, well spoken. Thank you very much, VC. Ndizawucela ipisi yokugqibela mantaka Chaka. Yokugqibela ke ngokuchaka Mr. Chaka Mhlekazi. Isiqwayi sakho sitange ngendlela ozoyibopha ngayo kodwa, you know. Enye Mr. Chaka ndakupha ngoxa kuphuma Mr. Chaka xa kuphuma ezindwalutho sorry ukuphazamisa. Ndakupha xa kuphuma ezindwalutho uzakusenza kanjalo sibe nje kodwa akuthi nje kanobongo into engathi ba wena. Dr. Lukwan wakwaZulu kunye noSibula uVC Dr. Lukwan uzakwazisa ke ngoku othule uprincipal andisibaxelela abantu Dr. Lukwan sasinawe mhlawumbe sasiqothe omnye wayekhona apha eMoshe. Quiet, over to you.
But I know they stand in the Lord.
umqeqeshi wekwaya phamba ningene kulo mxholo wokwazisa ezi sithwalandwe ezi sinanamesha imbunguzulu ucamule Afrika ndiyazidla ndinebhoko ndileqhaya nabo bobabini kuba ndandikhona kwi-panel eyayikhetha le vice chancellor yaseFort Hare ndikwi-board or i-council yaseFort Hare. Zandixela bakutheni na bendicherisha ipanel ibikhetha le principal ngoku njengoba ethetha apha nje naphambi uba ndimazise kukho into ecommon kubo bayi-two. Uthe akufika phaa i-main campus i-Fort Hare nee-campus eziyi-3. I-main campus is supposed or was supposed to be eThekwini. Lapho i-main campus yabo isihlalo sophatha i-university kubekho esebhisho kubekho esemuti. Phambi kokuba afike uqale usebenza phaa ngosuku lokuqala mhla wokuqala kweyomqungu kulo nyaka ka-2017 kuFebruary ke lo wathi ufika phayana uthathwe ii-departments nee-faculties zathathwa zawuthwa eMonti. Ngexesha lelungu babesaphethe phayana indlu ye-vice chancellor ikhona eMedikeni kodwa ilidlakadla kuhlala nabani na. Ufika kwakhe wathi andizohlala bamhlalise eMonti kuqala wamama waziqeshela indlu wathi ndifuna uba nilungise laa ndlu ye-vice chancellor phaya eDikeni azohlala phaa yalungiswa njengoba ndithetha nanje uhlala eDikeni. Zasezamle zonke une-deputy vice chancellors nezinye iziphathamandla ezikwi-top management zazonke sezihlala eMonti zonke kuzibuyile zihlala phi eDikeni. Yabo wathi nasi i-University yaseFort Hare ilapha ayikho phi eMonti ayikho bhisho ilapha. Uthe ndibuye ndize ke ngoku na kweli zotsho zathi kum jonga apha sihlalo wekomiti we-council andizohlala Monti okanye eQonce ndizawuhlala phaa phakathi ekhampasini. Wayelapha ngosuyazazi zindlu wathi kuzawulungiswa uyandixelela katsho kaceli uthi ndizawuhlala apho ngelilungelo lakhe because ayingomhlaba wam mosilongo ngekona uba akuphethanga mna apha uphethe yena yabo. Mna nje utsho kanje uba uphethe kakuhle nafuneka siyiqonde loo ndawo. Ndathi mna ndinayitlo ngathi uzishuma akukhethise ipeyinti ayifunayo umama Mankazana yenjani abantwana ezazindlu ke zalungiswa. Ndaqonda mandizibhithuba ndizozibona ezi ndenza i-appointment no-CFO ngathi wathi hayi khawukhethe hayi nene wathi andizuxa kufika abantu apha ndibamkelele eMonti e-airport okanye ehotele ntoni ndizabamkela apha kule ndawo. Ndawufika phaa athi wow mkhulu lo msebenzi awenza apha. Hayi wathi hayi uzakwenziwa ndizama ukuthi ngoku ndizokwazisa inkokheli lento kuthiwa yinkokheli. Phambi uba ndimazise zimpawu zini esizibonileyo thina ndifuna apha phambi ndiye kuye kwimbali yakhe nje amabalengwe ngaye uthi umfana kaPelimi uthatha ngomnye wabatata uqala imfundimani zokuqala ngozaphuma bisenkiphi kuba abelungu bafikela apha uthi ubunkokheli asisuko nokuba buyafuneka kunyulu inkokheli ingathini ukukhokhela isizwe xa yona yoyiswayo sisiqu sayo okaPelimi ubekholisa ukuthetha intetho ethi open brackets kwezi nkokheli zifuna ukuthwala iAfrika inokuthina inkokheli ukubamba amankazana ngezandla ibabe iziselo ngesiya iza kuyingcekelela na leAfrika xa atsho ke lo kaPelimi wasemampingeni ubesakutsho ngento ayibonayo nebonwayo evunyiweyo yamandiya ukani yo kanye lencam yayibungcathu nobunyulu baye ukukhalipha bokungayoyiki itolongo bubuninzi kuyo wakudala isengumntu welizwe laseAfrika esezantsi xa ndigqiba ke apho ndiye kumabalwengwe uba ngubani na lona ndiza kumazisa namhlanje ndifuna njena ukuthi uthe ivision yakhe kuqala uzayithetha naye but kodwa wayithetha kuthi uthi uba ngaba ibirayithi le ndawo bengazondiaplayishe uba ibirayithi yonke into ihamba kakuhle ngolu hlobo siyifuna ngalo Shakes bengazoaplayisha kule ndawo bengeke andifuni ndawo ilungileyo kuba sizibuza umbuzo thina siyiphanele uba yu xa sijonga iCV yakhe yabo uba izinto azenzile imbali yakhe niyofunda ke noba kwinto azenzileyo sithi hey umuntu onje uzofuna ukuzosenza eFort Cox lesiyimoshileyo yabo ilidobo olifusi ijungle yabo ndabe sendimfundile ke mna ke bake ndingumntu okwaziyo ifunda ingqondo umntu ejwela ijongo ndathi akafuni into zirayithi lona ezilungisweyo akazowulunga phaa phezulu kuba zikhona into sezikhona uba ufuna ukuya kule ndawo njengalo wayithatha kuba le ndawo yonakele iFort Hare bafana ngezo zinto ndithetha ngabani apha ndithetha ngomfo wasemazonshweni uMkhululi Mankazana was born in Newtown Dale location Ngqusha local municipality also known as Ipedi ke ngabelungu yathiwa ke nye ngamajoni amangesi. He is married to uMaganyeni siye samthatha ba kuthiwa ababadityaniswa ngophezulu akhona mnye unokuthabatha nantoni na ayizike lolo balizwe ngabantwana abayi-4 intwazana ezintathu nomfana omnye. In terms of schooling, Mkhululi completed all his primary and secondary education in Ngqusha. After completing his matric, he studied towards bachelor's and honors degree in actuarial extension at the University of Fort Cox between 1987 and 1991. He then obtained a British Council scholarship to study a master's degree of science in agriculture at the University of Reading in the United Kingdom that he completed in 1999. Mr. Mankazana completed a number of professional and industrial training, which include, amongst others, advanced certificate in human resource management, and industrial relations from Rose University, which he obtained in the year 1997, and expert negotiator. An expert negotiator. So he has got 1996 from Vets Business School, advanced certificate in project management from Stellenbosch University Business School in 2004. He also completed strategic management internship at Sparsholt College in the United Kingdom as well as the Czech Republic in 2000. So across, I think the five continents. In terms of professional work experience, he joined the Agriculture and Rural Development Research Artery at Fort in 1992 as a crop specialist advisor responsible for trials and demonstrations. He left Fort and joined Fort Cox in late 1993 as head of Department for Cultural Extension and Rural Development in October 1996. He was appointed, in October 1996, he was appointed Deputy Principal of the college. He left the college and joined the National Department of Agriculture, then known as Department of Agriculture, as Director for Education and Training in May 2002. He was promoted to the rank of Chief Director in March 2006, responsible for advisory, research, and training services. In August 2011, he was appointed as an agriculture attaché, a diplomat, with diplomatic corps based in New Delhi, India, responsible for the Middle East and South Asia relations, which included countries like Iran, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, India, Oman, Qatar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and then returned to South Africa in June 2018 and assumed the responsibility of being a chief director responsible for agro-processing and marketing. He left the department and established a consultancy and advisory services. Part of the work was to develop a mechanization strategy for the Eastern Cape Rural Development Agency, establish contract growers for agencies in the Tshwane fresh produce market through financial support from Abin Bear, formerly known as South African Brewers. His achievements include: one, Mr. Mankazana's Directorate of Education and Training was first to introduce internship and experiential program in the public service, which saw 128 students participate in the program in 2003. Two, he developed the Extension Recovery Plan, a 500 million program for improving the effectiveness and efficiency of extension services by government. Three, he introduced an extension bursary scheme that deals with transformation issues in the public sector, which brought about transformation of veterinarian services and engineering services in the country. Four, he was the first chairperson of the I Agree BEE Charter in 2009. Five, chairperson of the Neha Farm Proprietary Limited, which include more than 10 state farms in the East London area. Six, awarded Knight Agricole by the Minister of Agriculture of France for his contribution to G20 Committee on Food Security and Food Price Viability between March and June 2011. Listen to this. Awarded Knight Agricole by the Minister of Agriculture of France, Republic of France, for his contribution to G20 Committee on Food Security and Food Price Viability between March and June 2011. Awarded the highest achievement award for achievement by the All India Farmers Association an open bracket, an alliance of more than 6 million members, close bracket, bestowed to him by the Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of the Republic of India in 2018. Led a number of bilateral and multilateral engagements in the following countries: Italy, a Food and Agriculture Organization, which is an organization of the United Nations, Britain, China, Brazil, India, United Arab Emirates, Japan, Thailand, Uganda, Senegal, Gambia, Sudan, Zambia, Germany, Denmark, USA, and so forth. He is currently a director, a board member of the Fresh Produce Export Forum, whose member collectively contribute $10.6 billion worth of export in 2021. That's not the economy. He is also a director of Bushe Farmers Academy, a privately run and funded institution. I wish, therefore, to actually present to you Mr. Mkhululi.
Let me take this opportunity to greet everyone in the house. The time has arrived. The moment of truth has arrived. We have landed in Eastern Cape. We are back home. We are here to build our province. We are passionate about this province. We love it. Yes. They call it the home of legends. We want to make those legends wherever they are, in their graves, in heaven, to be happy. That's why we are here. We are back in the Eastern Cape. Program Director, Mr. Mkhululi, I am not going to go through. I've got a list of distinguished guests I wanted to greet. You have been greeted several times, so I won't be greeting you again. Suffice to say, all protocol observed. I feel honored by your effort to organize an event of this nature as a way of introducing and welcoming me. Your messages of support encouraged me, and I highly appreciate it. I came to Fort Cox on the 3rd of October. And I think day number 4th of October, I met Mr. Mkhululi on the road. He's correct, I don't know Mr. Mkhululi. But somehow, there was something that we need to stop. He was driving, I think, a Fortuna. So I felt that this person has got an intention to stop. So I stopped. And the creature said, "Oh, you have arrived." I said, "Who's this person? How can you say that?" Maybe you are looking at the registration of the car, and probably also on the size of the car, and made an assumption that this guy comes from Gauteng. Sorry. But I want to highlight some few things. A lot has been said already, and it's not my wish, but pindapin into the state way. And you tear to learn, you feel it, and you come again. part of what we are going to do. All the things that you have said, I'm not going to repeat, from partnerships to change management, to focus on practical agri-education and training. Those things are going to happen. There are a few things which you have seen that I came here with the mayor, that's Gabasari. We met with the mayor this morning. We had a meeting. We are practical people. Mr. Titman said, I'm a very practical person. I'm a man of action. So I don't waste time. So don't waste my time. I indicated to the mayor that Gabasari, because it's going to establish a true partnership. We want to change this area of Amatlati to look like Midrand. I said it is practically possible to transform a rural area into an industrial area. It is possible. I've seen it around the world. So it must happen at home. We shared some two key things with the mayor. We are very much concerned about the state of the road. The junction from R63 to N6. We are very much concerned. The other thing is the poor network connectivity. We believe that you cannot talk about development and forget communication networks. So, side by side, we have to push and make sure that we make the loudest noise to get this road transformed. Transformation must start also with that road. As we are transforming Fort Cox, we want to see that road transforming. Secondly, we also have to be connected on an optic fiber, Philip. We ought to be connected. We must not only pick up that 5G somewhere there when you go to Johannesburg. That's the 5th generation network. We are still on the 3rd generation here. Lanzela said that some of the people are on the 2nd revolution. They are not on the 4th. We are going to get there quicker than we think. That's one thing. But another thing that I observed, I was driving around here. I didn't see any driving school car. I was looking to see a driving school car. Where's the driving school? Looking around driving. If I go to my place in Pretoria, I'll pass maybe 5 driving schools. Someone is sitting there driving. That is one of the things that the student of Fort Cox must graduate with driver's license. There's no company once a person said that there's a car, can you go there? You just smile to the car. Because you cannot drive. You just smile to the car. So it's one of the very basic tool to have. You have to talk about internet and everything, the 4th industrial revolution, but we must not forget the basics. We must get the basics. We must equip our students. We must equip them properly. But one of the things that you must remember, I think, is that the chairperson or the program director said Fort Cox will be celebrating its centenary in 2030. I calculated, you are saying 8 years, not 8 years. It's 7 years, 11 months, 5 days. But the question that we must ask ourselves, what will we be celebrating that day? What will be the celebration about? What are we going to be celebrating? Come that day in September and organize a big event here. The question is, what will the celebration be about? It is for this reason that my plans and vision of Fort Cox are Fort Cox Vision 2030. What kind of Fort Cox we want? We have articulated, many speakers have articulated what they want to see. And I said, we accept those views. I got a 5-year term here. I'm the only person who's got a term. The rest, they'll work until they retire. So my focus on my 5-year term of office is to build an institution that is going to really fight the triple challenges of unemployment, poverty, and inequality through education and training, community engagement, and outreach. That's the kind of institution I want. Together, we'll put an action plan or a master plan with 2030 in mind. That's what we're going to do. But I want to remind you, a lot of people talked a lot about the past. Things were like this, but I want to talk now differently. And remind you that the country, after 94, was so focused on a land reform program. It was one of the trump cards of the African National Congress that Mkhululi Bantu. I don't want to go get to the Freedom Charter, but Mkhululi Bantu. Umhlaba umephakathi kwabantu. But I want to remind you, because these things are going to be very important. I want to remind you how the previous regime built a wide commercial sector in this country. Because it is only through history you can understand the future. If you don't refer to history and you think that you're going to build a future that you don't know, you have to understand where are we coming from and how the white regime built the so-called commercial agriculture of South Africa. My daughter used to study at Stellenbosch. When they say something, they say to the black students, we provide with meal. What the one, our parents do produce meal that we eat, the purple we eat. I want to remind you that certain institutions in South Africa were set to build the white commercial agriculture. In 1898, a college called SNB College of Agriculture was established in the Western Cape. 1898. And that college is the one that has been responsible to build what is called viticulture and oenology studies. That's why you've got a strong wine industry and grape industry in this country. In 1905, Sidara College of Agriculture and Forest was established to focus on nutrition, dairying, and forestry. To drive in KwaZulu-Natal is one of the best when it comes to the dairy industry. One of the best dairy industry I've come across. And in 1909, Potchefstroom College of Agriculture was established with a special focus on mixed agriculture, focusing on grains and livestock, beef. Mr. Titiman talked about the Bonsmara. When you drive in that area, there's something called Beef Master in a place called Christiana in Northwest. They always said that were the Texas of South Africa. This is where you find the biggest feedlot in the country. And that skill was built at Potchefstroom. And then you got Grootfontein here in the Eastern Cape, which was established in 1911. Remember in 1910, there was an establishment of Union of South Africa. These are all the things you can see, they are linked to the Anglo War and all this kind of stuff. And in Glen College was then established. Okay, maybe to say that Grootfontein was established to build a small stock industry. The wool industry in South Africa is actually linked with Grootfontein. And then we got Glen College of Agriculture and Free State, established in 1919, which also focused on grains and livestock. And then in 1912, the Land and Agricultural Bank was established as a development financial institution. These were structures to make sure that the white commercial agriculture is going to be resilient and be supported. Guess what? On the 19th of June 1913, the Native Land Act was passed into law. That pushed blacks to 7% and later 13% of the South African land. That is the history that we must never forget. When you are planning, I'm not mentioning any black college of agriculture, deliberately so, because they all followed later. As Professor Mkhululi indicated, they were at the table at the university in establishing this institution. But then you must fast forward to 1st January 1995. A UN organization called the World Trade Organization was established. It is just a year almost when South Africa will start to enjoy our freedom. The World Trade Organization is established. And this organization, one of the statements that were made was saying, you must deregulate agriculture. Government move away from agriculture. Let business run agriculture. Because our leaders were so excited after obtaining freedom and big signatories there, they rushed back to South Africa and introduced a law called the Agricultural Marketing Products Act of 1996. And they closed a lot of things. That's why you see Zanyoko the way they are. It is through this act. Because it was said, government move away, leave this sector to private sector. While at the same time we say we want to have a land reform. I'm not going to dwell much, but we know that there were institutions called marketing boards in South Africa. The wool board, the dairy board, the maize board, you can name them, which were making sure that provide support to the farmers. And then they were replaced by something called, now you see people talk about commodity organization. Commodity organization. We'll work with commodity organization. Who's commodity? Yes, we have to work with them because in the absence of the, we don't have much option. That's the only structure that are there. But they will never deliver transformation. But I don't want to dwell much on history. Let me tell you what I think we can turn things around in Fort Cox. Fort Cox is going to have a turn around. It's going to turn. And when it turns, everybody turns. During my interviews with the council, obviously when you're in an interview, you'll be asked, hey, what is your, there'll be some question asked to try to establish whether you know what you want to do. And then I said, I remember Mr. Mkhululi responding to what I said. I said I'll focus in the main on the livestock value chains, grain value chains, horticulture value chains, agro-processing value chains. The term value chain is a loaded term. We're not going to learn here about how to rear a goat, and that's the end of the story. You must know how to breed a goat, manage a goat, slaughter a goat, package a goat, and sell the goat. That is value chain. You go through. But on agro-processing value chain, I like to include the aspect of forest. When I came here, Chairperson, we did the introductions. Politicians normally start with external stakeholders. Technocrats start with internal stakeholders. I met almost every stakeholder internally. But sooner we're going to meet also with external stakeholders. I think there was a discussion even in the council meeting yesterday. I said forestry must start to gravitate towards value adding. We must introduce value adding programs. I'll give an example. I've been involved with trade. Trade is a term when, trade is only used when there's an export. And then use the word marketing when things are happening here, domestic. That is to use the word marketing. That is a domestic term. But once you use the word trade, it means they're exporting or importing. One of our duties was to analyze the South African Revenue Services trade book. What is happening with trade globally? But one of the things that we have seen was one of the countries who always keep an eye is China. We realized that, Philip, that we export imiti, trees, to China, and we fetch 2 billion. Rand, and we made 2 billion. Then, within that month, China sent furniture and wooden floors to South Africa, and we buy them for 8 billion. So the trade deficit is 6 billion. So we can't have a school of forest and that we sit and watch that happen. Something must happen in that area. Something we must value add. You know, we must value add. There must be a time in Fort Cox where we aspire that we will not be buying a table anywhere. It will be coming from Fort Cox. There must be a time like that. Say, Fort Cox produces tables. I don't think it's something difficult. A desk. But I want to highlight a few things. To say that I agree with stakeholders to say now what is. That agriculture is a high technological sector. And therefore we need to move with times. The SRC Deputy President said we want to live here, we want to go and do things for ourselves. I'm not sure, because we are on second year. The real students who are going to benefit from this transformation are the students who are going to admit in 2023. That's the real students that are going to benefit. I'm not saying that one, but the real group that is going to benefit. The impact of this change will be felt by the new intake of 2020. I have to be honest with you. Mr. Tima said that we attend our club. Indeed, I know. Now, I just want to highlight a few things. I said we'll focus on 4 value chains. One of our top value chains is the livestock value chain. And we are going to focus. Remember, an institution cannot be the best of everything. You can't be the best in every area. There are areas where you need to focus and accept that I'm going to focus on these areas. So we're going to be focusing on beef and sheep when it comes to livestock. But when we do that, we're going to work with the local communities. We are going to work hard to try to establish state-of-the-art feedlot in Fort Cox. We're going to work hard to build auctioneering infrastructure in Fort Cox. We're going to work hard to try and establish meat processing in Fort Cox. But you cannot build a livestock value chain in the absence of a strong grain value chain. The college, the local municipalities, and everybody who is ready, who want to grow yellow maize in this area, who want to grow soya bean in this area, who want to grow sunflower in this area, who want to grow canola in this area, who want to grow oats in this area, who want to grow lucerne. Because if you want to produce animals of good quality, you must feed them. You are not going to hope that you are going to take a bag to East London and get some feed somewhere. It has to be produced local. With our communities, plus the college. It must produce the college. We are going to establish cultivated pastures and build fodder bells. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work with government, we're going to work with industry, we're going to work with our graduates and communities to build a strong grain value chain. It is my wish that Fort Cox will package and manufacture its own feed before the end of 2024. We have the laboratories, the fields, water, academics and students. Why can't we do it? We can do it. We'll work with the members of the Feed Manufacturers Association, the association called Feed Manufacturers Association. They're going to help us to build this capacity, internally and regionally. And all this have to be integrated to the college curriculum. And now I want to move to the horticulture value chain that we're going to build. Mr. Titiman talked about the nyokwe and the seeds and the seedlings. We talked about that, my brother. We are going to build a state-of-the-art nursery for vegetables, medicinal plants, herbs, fruit, and high-value forest trees. We're going to build that nursery with your support. You must release that money that you told me. The emphasis will be on tissue culture technology. Tissue culture technology. If you don't know it, go to Google. In South Africa, we are known as the big meat consumers. But also, South Africans consume a lot of potatoes. Potatoes. Chips. You develop petty chips all over the place. What are the French fries? French fries. South Africa currently imports a lot of potato chips now. More than 30% of the chips, frozen chips that you consume are coming from somewhere in the world. Because you can't produce your own potato chips. There's a huge space in the market to compete with companies like McCain, Nature's Garden, These are the big companies in the fruit and vegetable. We need to compete. McCain's come from Canada, US partnership. They are the one, they are here to support McDonald's, KFC, all the American companies, to make sure that they have got. So we need to integrate these things in our curriculum. Again, we'll be working with government, industry partners, local farming communities, academics, and institutions to build this kind of capacity. When we talk about establishing a nursery, as establishing one Gogwan now when it's we visited with Mr. Titiman. I invited him. And someone said that, how to come to my area with my, I said, you're in charge of the nursery, I'm in charge of the college. So that there must be distinction between the two. I can move anywhere, anytime to see. But we established that in nursery need a lot of attention. But with the help of Darrat and other partners, that nursery gonna change. But what Ms. Matuta didn't tell you, she comes from, originally from a company of plant production in the Department of Agriculture. That's where nurseries are registered to make them, it's called a certified nursery. So that when somebody says something, there must be some code somewhere to say that, oh, they fly by night. We have to be registered. This is going to be a commercial nursery. This institution, someone said that you can make money out of it. Government revenue is not likely to increase at the rate of our expectation. So we have to start generating our own revenue. Now, Eastern Cape is known for citrus production. It is known for citrus production. Somebody told me that there are some few trees of citrus down there. Some trees. There are some few trees. But you will pardon me. I'm not an academic person. I'm a technocrat. So the way I approach things, sometimes one would say it's reckless. But I like that kind of personality in me, because it has made me to achieve a lot of things. We are going to fix, we have to establish a proper citrus orchard. We're going to grow it at the rate of 5 hectares per time. And we had a big debate with some of my colleagues, but I consulted. But I didn't consult like them yet. But I consulted the division to ask, is it practically feasible? Go and do a SWOT analysis. Because when you come to me and present something, I want 1 page. You just put something like this, strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, threat, and let's discuss. Don't write me a long story. And then you can go and write after. I want that 1 page that I can see everything. And then with Mr. Ndov came back to me and said, no, you come here. The very thing that can work is phalange. That is oranges. And I asked him, Mr. Ndov, what till I'm selling a bag and a band? There are 2 categories of these. Which are very problematic. And then, there will be these villages. But I said we need to think thoroughly. There are 2 options. I said one option, if we plant 5 hectares here, let's also have with Dr. Da colleagues a program of maybe 3 trees per household in these communities. So that they can also have, So we need to have that. As well developing inside, we must also develop outside. That should be the move. We are going to be working with the Citrus Growers Association, government and local communities to build citrus. We are hopeful that these things can start in 2024. I don't have time, ladies and gentlemen. I can't talk about, I know politicians, when they talk, they'll say, this will achieve in 2030, but you know the term is 5 years. I'm talking within my term of office. Now go to agro-processing, value chain. As I said, I want forestry to lead on this area. I want to challenge forestry because I've seen that there is capacity in forestry. There is capacity in forestry. If they can focus on certain things. They've built a lot of networks, not only locally, but internationally. They've already built, so we need to build them. And they are closer to the industry. They are very close to the industry. We hear that one of the board members from Forest South Africa, Mr. Kamin, they are very close to the industry. And it makes things also very easy. When you see academics are closer to the industry. So want to encourage them. As I said, we are going to focus on the grain value chain, manufacture and feed. These things are very simple. We should be able to do that. As we speak right now, Fort Cox is in the process of getting their abattoirs fully licensed and operational. To give fair to meet science and processing. We are going to offer a lot of short courses. There are a lot of people already, there are a lot of hawkers around. There are a lot of spazzers, Even businesses like checkers, they are now developing interest to enter the township. Remember, Calvin talked about township economy. They want now to go and infiltrate the spazzer shops. So before they arrive, we must go there first in this region to support. There are students they want to get diploma in agribusiness. I have not met the head of that component face to face. Who's our PG in your life? So agribusiness must be agribusiness. You are going to collect the data of all spazzer shops in Matole districts. I want to know what they utilize, how much meat they utilize, how much potato chip they utilize, how much burger they utilize, where they source that burger, how it gets packaged. Well, that information is critical to develop our support scheme. You can't support what you don't know. There's no time for guessing here. So, who's of the now let me leave this new college campus, the formal training and all that, and go to old college now. I am going to old college. The old college campus. It has got, I found it with a lot of names, but Zaitia. The old college campus is going to be known. I'm going to consult on this. And the word consult means we don't necessarily have to agree. I'm defining the word. If you go to dictionary, consult means you talk to the party, but I know me and you we've got a good working relationship. I can acknowledge that. The union of this college is very progressive. I can vouch to that. They even gave me, I said, I want a handover report. What is the state of the college as you see it as the union? They came up with very valuable information. Very valuable information that we are going to use also. But they are more concerned about the state of the college. As Mr. Kirk was saying, they are concerned about the state of the college. As Mr. Titman and others were highlighting that the state of the college needs attention. So we appreciate that. But it is in my view that campus should function as a center for entrepreneurship, incubation, and rural development. This recommendation doesn't only sit to Fort Cox. Ms. Matupa will know that one of the tasks we did was to say, what is the College of Agriculture or Higher Education? We had an exercise we're doing. And I made this recommendation to say all colleges in South Africa must establish this center of entrepreneurship, incubation, and rural development. If you go to University of Pretoria and many others, you'll pardon me, Vice Chancellor, I've been out of the province for almost 22 years. So some of the development I'll catch up when I arrange that courtesy visit to your office to understand certain things, but I know University of Pretoria. They've got what is called business enterprise, university business enterprise. This is the wing of the university to generate revenue aggressively. It delivers short course programs, occupational directed training programs, and it acts as a business support center. You can go there and say, I've got this business idea. Can you help me? That is part of incubation. Help me to craft my idea into a bankable business plan. That if I table it in front of the Industrial Development Corporation, they will have no reason why they should not support it. That's why I'm saying that the students of the diploma in agribusiness are very important to me, as well as the lecturers in that unit, because you have to support that whole college to do what you are proposing. One of the things that you read in the Fort Cox strategy plan or vision 2025, Fort Cox says that we want to be a center of excellence. Center of excellence. I'm not cheap stuff when you want to be a center of excellence. It means you're going to do certain things differently. The chairperson read something about, I think we were talking about something about a leader. Better Mankazana, better be it was or something like that. We ought, as management, lead by example. We have to lead by example. We don't have a choice. When you assume the role of umphatha, unyanzelekile uba ukhokhele ungamnacaphazi. Integrity yakho must not be questionable. You must have unquestionable integrity. So we're hopeful that we will be that management in Fort Cox. But in doing our work, we're going to work with a number of sector education and training authorities. I'm aware you work with Fiber, you're working with AgriCenter, you're working with a lot of things, centers. But you want to bring on board, in a more strategic way, centers like Mercita, Food Bev, Media, ICT. And we want this college also to work closely with the Department of Trade and Industry as we do our work. with TVET colleges, with schools around us, who want to do that work. We are going to work, as I said, with municipalities. I'm not going to repeat some of the things that I said, but I want to make one practical example. When I say the whole college be a center for entrepreneurship, I said entrepreneurship, incubation, and rural development. We are going to start here, inside. This college, we said that center will be a subsidiary of the college, so we're going to run like a business. And currently in Fort Cox, we've got Mr. Titiman, a kitchen. That kitchen is not operating. And some of our students, they will catch fire, cooking and sleeping, almost ready to commit a suicide. Because when you do that, when you cook and you sleep, we are closer in committing a suicide. And it's a problem that, but what are we going to do? Using that subsidiary, link all the things that you have said. We're going to go and look for our unemployed graduates who are interested to be entrepreneurs. There's a nursery. Some group must have a unit where they produce the seedlings. Some must go and produce in the field. Right? And they will enter into contract with the subsidiary, where now they have a market to supply. There have to be a standard quality controls that they are supplying the kitchen, which is part of what the subsidiary will do. But I'm going to work out the formula on this. We have done it somewhere else before, but we have to utilize first our own infrastructure to test our theories, whether they're going to work well when you go out there. 2023 is the year of preparation, and I want to use the Fort Cox kitchen in this model of testing incubation, whether it will work. You know, that kitchen must function like a restaurant. We don't want to have Uber eat someone from Milk Cream coming here and ordering food online. You may think that I'm dreaming. It's during the day. The daytime, you only dream at night. I won't put you in. You can't find him going. Yeah, Zimbono is. I've never think about that. Otherwise, your fellow partners did. Big. I'm coming closer to conclusion, program director. But I want to give you one example because I need to inspire my students. I'm here for you. That you must know that you are the top priority. You said that the gap between management and student. That gap is going to be closed. You want some. But I want to give you one example of one gentleman, because sometimes people doubt themselves that they can be achievers. There's a well-written story about a guy called Paul Sikuk. I don't know if you've ever heard about Paul Sikuk. By the way, also there's an entrepreneur sitting somewhere here from Amateur. There's someone from Amateur. Can you stand up, Chief? He refused. We were communicating via WhatsApp while I was sitting here. He said, come to the port here. He said, I'm fine on the floor. That's a businessman, a young businessman. I think 30 somewhere. It's on the third floor. He's entering the third floor to language. He runs a forest, he produces poles and other things. He is leading on the youth and agriculture for rural development. And we have been communicating. I'm a person of networking because I want to surround with people who want to see development. I said he has to be a strategic player because it's already a practical example. We have to support him and be bigger than he operates at the moment. He must be a big company so that our students, he does take students for practical and all that. If he's unemployed graduate, he employs them. So we want that company to grow bigger. We must build and leverage on existing institutions and organizations. Back to Paul Sikuka. Paul Sikuka is now 41 years old. He grew up aspiring to be a farm owner. His parents were farm workers in the Western Cape. Today, Mr. Sikuka is the owner of a wine farm in Franschhoek. He bought Klein Food and Rust, Franschhoek Boutique Winery for 12 million rand. Mr. Sikuka now has 17 permanent staff members, and during harvesting season, he brings in additional 50 workers to help. He now lives in Gauteng with his wife and 2 children because he can run that organization. We talk about 4th Industrial Revolution. So I want to produce more Sikukas. You must be Sikukas of tomorrow. To the Fort Cox students, you must think and act big. Besides all the noise, there are plenty of opportunities in South Africa. I'm here to serve you. Be ready for your own transformation. You must dream of becoming an entrepreneur, not an 8 to 6:30, a 16:30 worker. South Africa needs a new cadre of young entrepreneurs. Tell yourself that you want to be the next generation of entrepreneurs. It's time to practice the corner where you are.
You have listened to our principal. You have listened to a visionary. You have listened to a man of action. Uzawutshintsha izinto. Uthi uyivile yonke lento beniyithethe izakwenzeka. Ndiyathanda ke PJ phaya kwiDeuteronomy kukho ivesi ethi liphulaphuleni ngenkuthalo ilizwi lilamkele liligcine nilenze kuzakwenziwa kuzawanjwa kuzawugowa nothi okwenu ukugowa nothi okwenu ugowa kuzawugowa kuzawanjwa. Sibulela kakhulu kuprincipal, ndicela niphinde nimqhwabele kwakhona. siwufumela umkhombandlela, siwufumela umkhombandlela, akukho nenye into ekufuna ukuphinda ihlafulwe ngoku. Akukho nenye into ekufuneka siphinde sihlafune, into ekufuneka nje apha engqondweni yethu umuntu ayazi into yoba kubhekwa ngaphi. Sibulela kakhulu ke kuprincipal wethu ngokusinika umkhombandlela. Ndiza kuphakamisa ngoku umeya wethu ozawusenzela umbulelo. Uzawusenzela umbulelo ngayo yonke lento yenzeke ngale mini namhlanje. Nifanele ukubulelwa nguye. Andisenthethe uba akekho omnye umuntu onganibulele nguye onondibulela. Kweli zinga sikulo sifuna ukubulelwa ngabantu abakweli zinga. Andithethi ke ngee-floors, ndithetha ngee-levels. Sizawuphakamisa umeya wethu umama uNongqayi. Igama lamakhosikazi libongwe, igama lamakhosikazi libongwe, Thanks very much, Program Director. Ndingachithanga xesha besi-introduciwe apha. Mandibulise umama uGayika. Umama Noseko. Siyazana kakhulu. Ndithe xa bendimamele apha ndike kayiqalile ndithunyiweyo. Ndafumanisa into yobana #, zizokhala manje. Ndifumanisa into yobana as a leader without a vision, you are not a leader. So if you don't have a vision, there's nothing that you can do, because uqala ube ne-vision, then you plan according to your vision. Bekuphakanyiswe apha uMr. Bushula, lo bephakanyiswa pha uNtomtha usuka phaya eStadarem, phaya kulo masipala seMahlathi. Umasipala has invested so much phaya kuye, supporting him. Sevele China with the support of the municipality. Now I want to say we want more Bushulas in Amahlathi local municipality, because the rate of unemployment mostly in youth is very high. As a result, they are engaged and involved in many things as ngakhiyo. Others bahleli pha bazithengise kwi-drugs, of which Londo ayikho right, is because they are frustrated. Some of them bapasile bane-degree bane-diploma, some of them bapasile grade 12, but they don't know what to do, and even the parents are unable to take them to tertiary institutions. So ngalo mazwi did we have got umthwalo omkhulu singumasipala wasemahlathi, because we are the sphere of governance esikufutshane ebantwini. Noba bayakhala kuthiwe lo masipala, noba kucime umbane kaEskom kuthiwe lo masipala. So sisengxakini. And also bekwe i-coincidence eyenzekileyo namhlanje. As the leadership of the municipality, we sat and analyzed the situation as a Mahlathi. We've got challenges, but we sat down and said, no, we must not focus now on these challenges. We must focus how to resolve the challenges. Because that won't help, because abantu bafuna service delivery on the ground. They don't care about the challenges this is encountering. So sithe ngozapha namhlanje sabhala sathi sicela i-appointment, savunyelwa nguprincipal. Mhlawumbi ke besikazi noba kuprincipal omthathina apha. Njengoba nathi we are new in these offices, we are 2 months old in these offices. I'm 2 months old
as the mayor of Amahlati. During the inauguration in November, I was deployed as the speaker of Amahlati, and the speaker was deployed as the chief whip, and the chief whip was deployed as the chairperson of MPEC. But there was a reshuffling that was done by the ruling party. Yes, in short, Sati, what are we doing about institutions as Lapakut, looking at the youth, Paya, Ingayaz, abanye bafunda grade 12, bapasu grade 12, as agriculture. Abanye bayithatha agriculture as a learning area, and they didn't know that after they fund agriculture, they can live out of that agriculture. So, Sati, let's come and join hands with Fort Cox. But ibikhona MOU ibiyenziwe ngalo nyaka but yaphelelapi. So we're here to review and amend the MOU eyayisaniwe between these two institutions. Besingaphelelanga apho, there is an institution ekuthiwa yiDon Agricultural Institute. Nabo besiphaya, hoping that principal meeting yethu esizawuhlala nayo sizawuza neDoni, because we had an agreement as asihleli phansi bana sizawuza sonke apha, because our children must benefit, our communities must benefit kwezi institutions. Ngalo mazwi bendifuna nje ukwenza i-highlights into bana utheni silapha sasose samenywa ke kulo msitho. Ndilapha ke ngoku kuthiwa mandizobulela, ndizobulela ke apha abantu abenze lo msitho wayi success today. Xa bendimamele kuthiwe this is for the first time. So ufike ixesha lento bana kuzokwakhiwa indonga zeJerusalem zidilikile eFort Cox. So as the municipality in partnership with Fort Cox and other institutions ezikhoyo kulo mhlaba walapha eMahlati, sithi let's build and grow Amahlati together. Is inclusive ke Fort Cox kokwakaka. And then sisithi ke saziwa thina as politicians njengoba singabantu bawuthetha sithe ngoku make siyekuthetha kakhulu, let's talk more work. I think izinto ebezithethwa apha zizo zonke stakeholders ebezithetha siyesafuma singathi besisherishe ii-notes before size apha, but kucacile into bana there were some ideas somewhere ebezihleli bezilindele elithuba. So ndiyamnqinela ke utata uMankazana xa esithi zizokhala manje, ofuneka ephethe umhlakulo funeka asebenzise umhlakulo, ofuneka etshayele funeka atshayele. But we must bear in mind also that if there are no tools of trade, lo msebenzi sithi mawenzeke awuzukwazi ukwenzeka. So sifuna ke ukuqhuba. Indeed, Mr. Mankazana sifumanise into bana unamava, experience anayo nemfundo anayo, and xa lijongile uzawusithatha asibeke endaweni. Ndithe xa lijonga ke principal, mna ndiyi-politician, ndathi apha iFort Cox can be a ward, because as umasipala like iFort Hare, University of Fort Hare is a ward, council ophuma phakathi kwezi-students. iFort Cox can be a ward whereby xa sijikeleza sifuna ii-needs ze-communities, they also have needs as this institution, so that sizokwazi uzifaka kula integrated development plan. Then ndibulele again i-board yalapha ethe xa ibijongile, I know kula recruitment process baninzi abantu aba-aplayishayo, but ekugqibeleni funeke iyi-one principal apha. I think benze laa nto ke kulaa nto ithi ke kuthi politicians through the eye of a leader. So bathe xa bekuthethwa bebukele bafumanisa into yobana this is the person. The time has arrived. Utshilo utata apha. nathi singumasipala seMahlati sithi the time has arrived. So working together we can do more. Ndibulele ke okugqibela ubukho bakho nokuthi wenze iapplication nathi sibekwe kumasipala oqoqoqo. There's a purpose for that.
Yeah.
Nawe ufikela kwi-Fort Cox eqoqoqo. There's a purpose for that. So there were many things ebesengagane ngazo ngobesiphaya, including lendlela. Together I think i-process yokwenziwa kalendlela isuka apha Middle Drift ukudlula apha uyokutshona eTsomo uyokutshona eStadareni ugqithe eTsomo. I'm sure if you are working together izawukhawuleza ye province kodwa sithe singumasipala hayi makwenziwe isicelo yenziwe national because oko kwakungumama noSimo yangutata uMakhenkesi the late Stofile yango Mr Sogoni nithi ngoku uComrade uMabuyane sithetha ngalendlela. No, this is too much. And yenye institution othi xa uyo before uyofika kuyo uhambe kwi-gravel road like this. So and in terms of economy apha eMahlati if kunolungiswa lendlela the local economic development yaseMahlati ingakhula and this area heritage this area ye-tourist but i-tourist zinqabile because of the infrastructure. So we can't develop and promote our local economic development because of the infrastructure. Ngalo mazwi ndibulela wonke umuntu olapha ndibulela nento ezithethwe apha. Thank you very much.
So andisubaxelela abantu ba siqhele ukudibana. Thank you so much. Sizazi sobantakwethu. Wena ungaphumanga nanto kule mini khona into phakathi kwa education kuthiwa i-master learning ba. Amane fumana 2% uphinde up until Atabe. It's been a great day. And thank you very much to everyone who participated. The vote of thanks has just been ably delivered by our Honorable Mayor. And thank you once again to yourselves, Honorable Mayor, Honorable Speaker, and our MM. I'm just pleading because no one could thank her. I'm just pleading, hear the word, a thunderous. I know you're not all geographers, but a thunderous round of applause for our mayor and our municipality. Thank you. Marvelous, absolutely, you didn't disappoint them. Sinombulelo mazenzi siyo sojolo. Besilapha emhlabeni wakho zange sibene ixesha lokudibana ne-council. But sibulela lembeko yokuba nisamkele ibe yinxalenye yethu kuzawusetyenziswana kusukela namhlanje. Emini yalo mhlekazi yenze yento. Sizawucela ukuba uMr. Chak, Mr. Chak, uyazazi uba uyingqwele, uyingwenya, uyinto yonke mhlekazi. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you very, very much for what you are doing. Thank you so much. Ungapheli mandla mhlekazi wami. Thank you. Thank you. Hands together for Mr. Chaka, ladies and gentlemen. Sizawucela siphakame iminqwazi kobhuti tata. Nafanele isinde nje bomama ngeminqwazi neqhiya, nafanele isinde okwanamhlanje. Sizawucula umhobe wesizwe. eqhubeka nesitibili bahlale phansi sinike imbeko ezindwalutho ukuba zibe nexesha lokuba ziphume. Ungaqhubeka nesitibili apho. It's been a great day. Thank you very much. Dinner